girl name that took it out?
Oh, which one? Because they a lot of them been getting it taken out. Black
Her
China.
mama crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Her mama crazy.
yeah.
I
Her
don't think
mama
you're
is
supposed to say
crazy.
that.
She is crazy.
Yeah,
I still don't think you're supposed to say that though.
she crazy though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
And
can't.
she talk bad about her daughter all the time.
And she mad at her for getting her stuff taken out.
Yeah.
I'm like, she said she was physically having health problems. That's why she started with the breast implants.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, people don't like. Once again, people do your research before you do that. Like, them things got to be rotated out like tires.
Yeah, she was young when she got it done too. And
hmm
she said the butt problem.
Yeah, cause that stuff don't stay in one place. Like them injections, they get in your hips and joints. The way my hip be hurting now, it is absolutely no way I'm putting something that can float up in there unless it's gonna help it not hurt. Is it gonna pad the joints that is not functioning? Cause it's a no for me.
Definitely a no.
Yeah. He is so excited to be there. I could
Cause
see
he
that
get to
though.
play with booties.
I guess so, but there ain't no way that you touching and not paying.
Wow.
Pay me. What? They get paid to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Them is adult film stars. Pay me.
He look like he getting a touch for free.
Right. I'm gonna need you to swipe your card right here, sir. Cash App, Instagram. I'm gonna need to see the transaction go through. We don't accept PayPal and we don't take checks.
We're not taking no checks.
Right. I'm gonna need that swipe for you, touchy.
Y'all can keep talking. I'm just trying to get things together
Okay.
on the tag front and everything.
Do you want me to start the icebreaker questions?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So y'all ain't got nothing to say. Y'all just go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I used to think when I was younger though, I was like, I wouldn't get anything done. And then like the older and gravity set in.
Now you trying to get everything done.
Yeah,
Not
the body.
everything.
I think we really should look into that body culture thing, though.
I need you to talk louder if you're gonna talk.
Oh,
Remember, you gotta talk
I'm
louder.
sorry.
We live now.
I'm
My
all
bad.
for a non-surgical procedure because
Yeah.
for me to have surgery, it's more than just because I'm on Coumadin, so I have to be bridged, and that is like injections in my stomach for like 2 weeks in order so I can come off of the Coumadin and be bridged on the heparin, and that stuff leaves me so bruised up. I gotta do that all before I go under the knife, and then I gotta do it after I come out of like.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like if I could find a non-surgical alternative,
But you might not even have to take the Coumadin no more.
I hope I
That's
don't.
why you had to take. You supposed to made that appointment.
I'm
Oh, she
trying
calling
to.
you out.
I'm like I called them yesterday, and they were like, "Well, you're supposed to be doing your at-home monitoring," and I'm like, "But the company called me and told me y'all not sending over the prescription." They like, "We did." I said, "I know y'all told me you did. I done called y'all 3 times, and they said you didn't. So one of y'all
So somebody
lying,
lying.
and I need somebody to call somebody because y'all making it seem like I'm not trying to be compliant with the program." And you two are not agreeing. And I don't know why I have to be the go-between when they're the company and you're the doctor's office. Why am I the patient have to be the go-between between you two? Like this is ridiculous.
Well, it's a possibility you won't have to be on that stuff
I
anymore.
pray that.
That'll be a great thing,
Yes, because
especially to get off Coumadin.
yeah,
You bruise a lot,
yeah,
Very
yeah.
easily.
so it's a possibility.
Like
Because
I'm
you've
too
already
dark
got your
to be so
numbers.
bruisable.
You
Got
finally
everybody
got
thinking
your
I be
numbers
abusing her and
together.
I don't be.
He beats me.
Only on Tuesdays.
Stop
Hey, you started it.
it.
You got 2 more days.
No, like literally one day we was bringing in grocery in from the car and I looked, I didn't even think I could bruise on the palm of my hand. Like I was carrying, you carry a bunch of grocery bags. Like these two fingers were bruised for like 6 days. I'm like,
What's good, Miss Janelle? We're just doing our. I'm just seeing your comment. We're just doing our cold open right now. We get ready to start for real. I just finished tag, and I'm giving them a chance to share and tag and whatnot.
we're sharing that I advocate that Jesse should let me alter my body.
You can advocate all you want, but guess what ain't gonna happen?
It's my body though.
That ain't what the Bible said. Read your Bible. Read your Bible.
Really?
But it's not nothing. Nothing is getting.
Read
cut,
your
though.
Bible.
Nothing's
Read your
being
Bible.
cut.
What the Bible got to do with the not
Consider it
cutting?
like
The Bible said that her body belonged to me and my body belonged to her, so she is not allowed to cut without my permission. Read your Bible.
I give you permission.
Well, she's not cutting.
Cut, tuck, snip,
It's none of
whatever.
that. It's none of that.
It's technology.
It's just a thing rolling across.
Even that.
You need to stop.
Janelle's on your side, though. I want you to know. Janelle said she on your side. She said,
I
I'm for
appreciate
body
you,
modification 100%.
There you go. Look, where God has
Daddy.
created technology that gravity has trying to supersede.
So
I'm
what y'all
trying to
saying?
let
Y'all
it
know
happen.
better than Jesus. He said,
Hey, he created
said
the
these
doctors
things
who
happen.
created the technology.
He allowed the doctors to do
So
stuff,
I give him
and the
praise
doctors
with every
decide
part of my body.
they want to be just like Satan and try to be God and play God
I
and
give him
modify.
praise with every part of my body, especially the ones that get lifted
Mhm.
back
Yeah,
up.
but by the time you get through, it ain't gonna be your body no more.
It is just
It's no cutting.
higher.
It's different if it's cutting involved. I'm not
Higher.
Say higher.
I
She
just
did.
Lift him up or
And-
them.
Yeah,
Really?
definitely them. Don't want to lift one and not the other.
Right, because that'd be weird.
Now that would be hilarious.
Definitely them.
What you said?
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to bring peace and comfort. And
I
higher
ain't worried about her higher
self-esteem.
self.
And then
She don't need to be getting high no way. We ain't smoking weed. What you talking about higher self?
Not
Nobody's talking about no marijuana.
because 420 was the day before. Oh, just me. I'm sorry. I did not. I did not.
She wanted to. She thought about it.
Yeah, I just didn't know where to get enough from.
Good. Guess you forgot. I should
Listen, you could have gone right downstairs
Oh, Dad.
with the way our neighbors be smoking.
I don't want what they smoke. That smell like butt. I
It
can't.
doesn't smell like it used to.
It doesn't.
It stinks.
I'm like, how could you put
You
that?
said
in
it
your
stinks like it
mouth?
ain't never stunk before. It always just stunk.
Not to me.
No. Like I went back way
When my
back
mama
when.
and them was in there.
Right, the stuff
This
my
stuff
mama
was
used to
stink.
smoke.
It stinks.
It smelled like gonorrhea and
My
herpes.
my stepdad used to grow it, and there was nothing. It never had any of
It
those
smells
smells.
like gonorrhea and herpes. And yes,
Really?
Janelle, he is the God of peace. But everything that we say brings peace ain't really his peace. His peace, not our peace. Don't be. Well, this is a Real Talk podcast. I preach this morning. Don't have me try to bring out Bible and stuff today.
You over here trying to bring the Bible out in the middle of the body.
That's Janelle. She done made me bring it. Then she said, "Okay, let me stop before y'all start lecturing me."
I
I'm
need to
listening.
get closer
I
to the
didn't
shot?
lecture.
Why would you say y'all?
Let me scoot in a little bit.
Yeah,
You was on
all you doing
outside.
just lean the other way. Just lean the other way. That's all. And you ain't got to smash yourself.
Okay.
Just lean. That's all. She trying to smash her whole self in everything.
Well, if I had, I'm just saying.
That's a delightful pillow to me. You leave my pillow alone. Hallelujah.
Wow.
And that sounds like a great note to go ahead and get started. We're gonna hit our intro real quick. And once we hit our intro, Falana's got some nice little icebreaker type questions. At least that's what she calls them, icebreakers and whatnots. And so we're gonna do that. And yeah. Let's get this thing started.
This is Real Talk. Real Talk Radio. This is Real Talk. High Praise Ministries presents Real Talk, Real Talk. This is Real Talk. Real Talk Radio. This is Real Talk. High Praise Ministries presents Real Talk, Real Talk, Real Talk.
All right. We back, and welcome to yet another edition of the Real Talk Podcast. I am always, as your host, Jesse Jones, along with the so far still has managed to keep her job, the one and only, the executive producer, the beautiful, the vivacious, the chocolate, the
You see
edible,
people?
Flounder. Say hi to the people, baby.
Hi, family.
family.
And today we got a very special guest who we've held hostage all day today. She is the one and only 3'1.5".
She is a whole 5 feet.
I'm sorry, my fault.
Yes, give
3'8". The one.
I don't even want to say it because
Don't say it. I already thought it for you. Don't say it.
I had
As-
to stop. I forgot what I said for a second.
As y'all can
that
see,
would've
this
went
is
way
going.
to the left.
As y'all can see, it's gonna be one today. It's gonna be one day. We have our special guest, the one and only Miss Charise. Say hi to the folks, ma'am.
Hey, family.
Hey, family. Now I want y'all to know both of them have decided they don't really want to look at y'all at all. They want to look at each other. So I'm gonna be looking up at y'all sometime, but they don't really want to be looking at each other at all.
And still stay
No,
in the
because
mic.
I would have to be
No,
on
they
my
just turn
mic
the
like
mic.
this for me to turn around and
The mic moves. See, watch this.
No.
Look at all this motion.
My excuse. He telling the truth.
Like I said, they don't want to look at y'all. They want to look at each other. So if y'all start wondering, asking, why it ain't looking up, and why only have Charise's body in the shot? Because she don't want to look at y'all. That's why. So there he is. All right. And huh?
They not sitting over there. It's a camera.
What? Yeah. And the people is behind the camera.
Yeah, but
Anyway, so we got a wonderful episode in store for you today. First of all, I'm gonna turn over to my co-host over here. She said she got some opening questions she want to do, so we're gonna let her go ahead and does them.
All right, so I warned y'all. I asked you, did you want deep or shallow? And there was a vote for deep, so let's go deep. And everybody here has to answer. Tell me about a time that God humbled you.
She's talking to you.
Oh,
Go on
I
in,
go
yeah.
first?
Yeah, you go
Yeah.
first.
I, as a host, can elect to answer or not answer any questions that come forth.
No.
Wow.
It's my show. It's my show.
It's not going down like that.
It's my
sir.
show.
Not
Answer the
today,
question. Go
sir.
ahead.
You
As
said-
the executive producer, tell me about a time that God humbled you.
And the executive producer can get fired. I can't.
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Threats of violence,
Wow.
folks. Threats of violence already.
All I can say, and the most part of this is what I'm gonna say is, I have to be very humble because I got extra people living with me. I'm bullied by a 2-year-old
On a daily basis.
on a daily basis. I gotta lock myself in the room to not be bullied. I have to, but
And yet you
no,
still
like-
get bullied.
Yeah, I'm still bullied. I have to do a lot of humbling at work. I have stopped complaining.
When?
So, you know I don't complain about the money. Don't do me, because you used to get a text every day like, yo. But because I had to remember that I asked God for a job that would be able to take care of me financially.
You want me to get those things? You can put it
And
on-
so,
Okay.
you know, my boss is still a jerk, but you know,
That sounds like a complaint to me. That's what
I-
that's. I don't know about the
said
rest
she's
of
still
y'all.
a jerk, but I'm humbled. I mean, I don't give her the face. My
So-
face tells on me on a regular basis. Okay.
Is that you feeling like the spirit of humility coming over you, or is that God had to check you about it?
God definitely had to check me about it.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. It was
Yeah.
in one of her reflections of the message that I taught.
Yeah,
That I taught.
God had to check me about it because it's like you ask God for something and then you're gonna complain about it. So yeah, that was something that I really have to say that I had to get out of myself. I had to find the right word for that. In order to be able to be like, okay, this is me. You know, you come from doing your own business to have to deal with somebody again. So it's like a little bit of time right there.
Gotcha.
But she likes to, you know how you get those bosses that have to show that they're the boss? She's that type of person, but with a little extra going on along with it. So yeah, that would be where I really have to humble myself.
Gotcha.
So how about you?
All right, so I'm gonna look at you while I give my answer. So mine's actually came recently. Um, I was asking God, like, okay, so things what I thought they were going to be, and then I was like, so what was the reason? Like, what was the purpose of our relationship? And then he told me, and I was like, so you saying, God, this is an arranged marriage?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. I was like, okay, that's not what I was thinking. And he was like, so now what are you going to do with that information? I was like, all right. I asked a question, I got an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as like for me, it was one of those moments. As much as you plan and you predestined to be a thing,
Mm-hmm.
when God steps in and he gives you an answer, like, what are you gonna do? Argue with him?
Some people do. Some people do.
But yeah, that was my humbling moment. I was like, okay, here we are.
Here we are.
What's the next question? Oh, I told you as a host, I'm opting out. I'm opting out. I'm just here. I'm the facilitator. I'm the host. You've seen
The audacity.
you see the two.
Checked you on.
I
a
know, and
regular
that's and that's exactly why I could opt out.
Like, yeah, the disrespect.
No, it's not
Right.
disrespect. So there's a show that we watch. The season's over now. It's on the Kevin on Stage Studio app. It's called The 2 Bite Rule. Khalil is the host,
You are
and
not
the basis
Khalil.
of the
You are
show
not an ugly,
is he
light-skinned
brings
man.
people in. Yeah, I'm a dark skinned man. Same thing. He brings in people to test and try new foods. The whole premise of the show is to get people to open up their palates, right? And you have to take 2 bites if you're on the show. And they continually try to get him to take 2 bites of stuff, and he's like, "I'm the host. This ain't for me. It's for y'all to open up your palates. My ice is already broken. I broke the ice when I came on with ha 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 ha. All right. Welcome to you. See, that's the icebreaker for me. I'm good.
Anyway, next question. And this question is only for you. What's something you're proud of and never get to brag about?
I don't really have pride in just about anything. That's people. This is why I didn't want to answer the other question either. They can hear me. I promise you, they can hear me. You're the one who talks all soft. No, I don't really I haven't had pride in anything since I graduated high school. And it wasn't that graduating high school was such a great accomplishment. It's just I looked at it and I was like, why am I proud of doing something that most people in this country do? Like, the vast majority of people have a high school diploma, so it's not like it's So I legitimately have not had pride in really anything. I'm not a braggadocious person unless I get into a fake wrestling persona. I don't. Yeah, that's not a me thing. I don't really do a whole lot of bragging about stuff. And lastly, I'll say it's also because I have a fear of becoming one of those preachers, since I am a preacher, who the first 20 minutes of their message, 30 minutes of their message is, and I did, and remember when I did, and I healed, and I had done, and no, I don't.
But this is not a message.
I know, but if my thought has always been, if I allow myself to be open to the premise of bragging in one thing, it'll bleed over into everything. And I don't really feel like I have anything to brag about. I haven't really done anything that's not something the vast majority of people have done in their lifetime. So, yeah, not a bragging person.
Way to suck the air out of the room.
You at this
But
day,
then you get one more question.
you didn't you
Yeah,
wanted me to ask the
yeah.
questions. To answer the questions, I answered the question.
Talk right all around it.
Right. He
I didn't talk
did.
around it.
Right.
I don't.
He honestly kind of sort of talked around that question.
How'd I talk?
Question?
How'd I talk around that question? I answered it. I don't really brag about. I don't have anything to
That's
brag
fine.
about.
Next question, just for you.
Go for it.
What does your partner do to make you smile?
I want to give the answer that the dude gave because I know where the question comes from. Because that's a wonderful answer. She got this question from a podcast. These married people, I forget what the name of the podcast is.
For one, I don't do that. So.
She said, he said, she asked him, what did your partner do to make you smile? And he said something to the effect of watching you leave.
No.
Because looking at her booty.
No.
That one it?
No, he said you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
His
Oh.
low-hanging fruit.
yeah. She's out of practice.
First of all.
Moving right along.
You talking about the cherries, not the stem. My bad. Okay, I thought you were talking about the stem.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Be a
you
podcast
can have
host.
person. You can have a person called Jesus with that. Ask the question again, because I want to make sure I have the question right.
What is something your partner does to make you smile?
Oh, see, that's the problem. I don't smile. So,
Oh, Jesus!
you, how long have you been married to me?
Internal.
Well, okay. See, if you say that makes a difference. Words mean something. You saying smile, and I'm like, I don't smile unless I'm laughing.
We're gonna need a new lead podcast host for the Real Talk positions.
Go ahead and try and take this and watch this knife come at you. I'll start nice and sweet. Smile. Love seeing you smile. Love see that right there. And then the blush, because the blush, when I make her smile, the blush always comes with the smile. And that's wonderful. You don't understand, that's wonderful. First of all, because to my knowledge, and don't tell me if I'm wrong now since I'm saying it out loud, to my knowledge, not many people have been able to do that. Shut your mouth. Don't say if I'm right or wrong. I don't want to know. It's one of them things I don't want to know about. And so it's like I can't describe it. It has electric properties, and then you have a look in your eye when those two things come together. It's electric.
Oh.
I didn't tell y'all to say, "Oh, I will shut this podcast off and restart it."
This podcast will shut itself off. Don't
It will.
Restart
It
itself.
will.
We'll be
And
back
as soon
an hour
as soon as I said that, the Wi-Fi signal dropped for a second and then jump back up.
Don't tempt
Hour
them
down,
with a good
y'all.
time.
Is that all you got?
Right, that's all I got for today.
Okay, so before we get into our normal talks for today, we're going to take a real quick break. Here's a real quick, well, this one ain't going to be quick. This is the one that everybody be like, oh my God, too. I'm putting you up first. We'll be right back after this message from one of our sponsors.
My name is Amanda. I'm the owner of the G-Spot Accessories and More. And I have been doing this since August of 2020. I wanted to start my business because I didn't see anyone else doing what I was doing. I wanted to just step out on faith and make couples happy, other people just spice up their sex life. My business is basically for single people, married people, just anybody. 18, they can be 79, I don't care, but if it makes them happy and pleases them, I'm perfectly fine with it. What separates my business from other competitors are I am very convenient. You can reach out to me at any time. I don't mind meeting you, shipping it. Just openly to please you. Whatever you need, I'm there for it. So, quality, the toys, they're A1. I have like no problems out of them at all, and other people don't. But everything is just amazing. So my items or products are for everyone, whether you're gay, straight, couple. I have a little bit of everything. Well, I have dildos, I have pocket pussies, I have two-head dildos. Whatever you need, I have it. Whether it's pheromone, lubricant, I try to have a little bit of everything. Swings, so just to lighten up stuff and just have your night enjoyable and one you will always remember.
All right, we back. Did you finish clutching your pearls? Oh my goodness. They had a sex commercial. All right, so
Wow.
hey, it's 8:30. Folks should be ready for the after dark type stuff, especially when we get to the banter. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this first topic. I am a fan of this first topic because it can go multiple ways in multiple areas dealing with multiple things. For quick background, I heard Godfrey, who is a comedian I like, happened to hear a snippet of his podcast. I don't really know the name of his podcast because I don't listen to his podcast, but you know when you go on YouTube, it has to recommend your stuff. Well, the caption is what caught me. So let me hear him talk about it. And what they were talking about essentially was, why is it that it's kind of the inverse of what we did on our last podcast. For those who listened to the last podcast, we asked the question, why can they do it and we not do it? Why is it okay when they do it and we not do it? Well, this is in that same manner of, except it's kind of the reverse now. Why is it acceptable to tell us to move on from our trauma, from our hurt, but no other person, no other race really has to deal with that? And really, you can also absolutely split that up and deal with that in terms of gender as well. Women are always told to get over some stuff when you never really hear that being said to a man ever. But where he was gathering that from is I'm trying to make sure I parse my words because I forgot Facebook likes to shut stuff down for any and everything now. The people who survived the Nazi, I don't know what word to say, but that time frame, the Jews who survived that, I don't know if I'm allowed to say the word blank survivor, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not, but they're never told to get over it. Japanese internment camps, they're never told to get over it. But when it comes to us, and I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it, but just in case I say it anyway, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it
400
right
years
here.
of oppression.
Good call. This is why you're not fired yet. When it comes to that 400-year time frame of oppression, which is actually a little longer, but in particular that 400-year time frame, we're told to get over it, to the point where they are trying to rewrite history in our school systems so as to never acknowledge it. You could never rewrite the Adolf Hitler period in time and get away with it. You could never whitewash the internment camps and get away with it. But they weren't slaves. They were indentured servants and happy to do it. What? So that was kind of what he was talking about. And I started to think about a question with that, which is essentially, is our, I don't want to say our inability, but is the fact that we don't forget a hindrance to our progress in moving forward? Does remembering and holding on to past keep you from being able to move forward?
So I'm sorry, you're a guest. Would you like to start?
She said, ugh.
Well, growing up in the town that I'm from,
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah.
racism,
They probably ain't listening anyway.
racism was still really bad. And, it's a little small country town where we had one grocery store, one stoplight, farmland everywhere. Roads didn't get paved until late in the 90s. But us as kids didn't realize really what was going on, because you really weren't treated differently. But when you had the Caucasian friends and stuff, you were friends in school, but you were not allowed to go to each other's houses and stuff. But you didn't know that. I guess it was harder for it not to be talked about from where I was from, because my grandmother made sure that we knew. And the main thing about that was she grew up and she was living, I guess during that time she was in New York. And my grandmother used to be scared to take showers. You know, she ended up in the nursing home I was working at, and it was this Caucasian girl that tried to give her a shower in like 2:00 in the morning. And my grandmother went off, called me, and so I headed to the job, which they had the doors locked before I got there. They sent the girl home, and so
so she don't catch them hands.
yeah, because that's what I was going there for.
I get it.
You know, because I'm her granddaughter and I couldn't take her in the shower. You know, and so my mom told me that my grandmother used to get sprayed by water hoses.
Gotcha.
And stuff. So she grew up in that time, and which is gonna be a strange conversation even to have with y'all. But my grandmother had an issue with me. I am the lightest grandchild in the family, and I remember growing up not understanding what it really was. And when she called me a house nigga, I didn't have a clue what that meant.
Wow.
And have no clue. I was so lost. So I asked my uncle, what is a house nigger? And he looked at me, and he read the
N-word, just in case, N-word.
N-word.
Just in case, N-word. I don't know what Facebook gonna do or not, so
yeah.
you know.
So, hopefully I don't put it off. So I asked my uncle, what did that mean? And so he's thinking, you know, because he know where we're from, but he lives in the city. So he said, who called you that? I was like, your mama. So that's the first time I've ever heard them get into an argument. Had no clue. And, you know, he explained, he said, you were never that, you know, but still, he never explained what it meant. You know, we really didn't have the conversations until we started getting older. The guys was trying to date, you know, the Caucasian girls. One of the guys got chased home. They was chasing him home on the back of the pickup truck. And he ended up running to my mother's house. And at the time, my mom was still dating my brother's father. He came outside with a gun. So, you know, so it was like, wow, what is this? So it's kind of harder for some to get over and some not. It really depends on where you're from and what they teach you on it, because they really didn't teach about our history in school. So if our parents didn't talk to us about it, you really wouldn't know anything about it.
Right.
So as far as being able to, I think it does hold back sometimes, because your children are angry about stuff they really don't know. You know, but it's good that they do know, so they can know why they're being treated different. Because if you don't know why you're being treated different, then that's where the problem lie at. It's the way I see it.
Yeah, for me, there is a fine line between the two arguments for me. So there is the side that is like, we need to move forward. And for me, and I know this is going to sound controversial, but I don't like it when we projected that mentality on one another. So recently I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about colorism. As I was listening to this podcast, and this guy was like, let me do a list of men to not date. And he was like, light-skinned men, because all light-skinned men lie. And this came from a man. And he's about, I want to say, one shade darker than you. Like, not my complexion. I'm like, dude, there might be some people who think you might fall into that category. But the fact that we even still have that mentality, this crabs in a barrel mentality that was taught to us in the oppression period. Is that okay? Yeah, I think that works.
I think that works.
Within the oppression period, to divide us. That's why there became a house N-word and a field N-word, because it was a system of getting us to divide ourselves. That way we couldn't unite. There could be no uprising and saying, hey, look, one more time and we about to burn this down. It couldn't be that if we're all on different sides of the fence. If we separate the people who were unfortunately products of SA and by the overseers of the plantation and the people who were of pure skin color. And just to keep them separated, then they could never unite. So as far as like stuff like that goes, I'm tired of hearing that. Like, I'm tired of us separating ourselves within the community. We are the only, African Americans are the only community, and I specifically say African Americans. We're the only community that will have more out with one another than agreement. You don't see that in Jewish communities. You won't see that in Hispanic communities. They don't divide themselves up like we separate ourselves. It shouldn't take a George Floyd for us to stand up and say something is wrong. How about, because this person, even if they don't have the same complexion as me, is my people? How about we stand up for that? This didn't happen to one selective group of us. This happened to all of us. The things that we are experiencing are collective, not individual, based off of our complexion or how much money we make or what we declare or how much Indian we say we have in our family. Like, these things don't matter. We are all still people of color. There are no purebred anybody anymore. If I see one more quote unquote Caucasian person who is like, yeah, I'm pure 100% Caucasian, I'm like, you would be a lie.
Ancestry.com has messed a whole lot of folks up.
Ancestry got some is getting a whole lot of people straight as well. Like, there's no such thing. So why in our own community are we being a detriment of ourselves because of something that came as a result of 400 years of oppression? It's absolute ridiculous. Now, don't forget, like, when it comes to that, let's do away with that mentality. But when it comes to not teaching or denying that it happened, is complete and utter BS to me.
No, I'm positive you want to cuss, you can cuss. Like, they.
Oh, okay. I can use those words. Gotcha.
You're right.
Yeah, but to deny that these things happen when we have documentation. Where you're from, the state of North Carolina has some of the largest oppressive documentation and background. Like, you can go. I was able to trace, and I to this day can't find his name, my father's dad back to North Carolina as Negro boy, and this is where he came from because of their documentation and the way that they documented that whole period in time. Now, there's no name that I could find, but I was able to trace him back to North Carolina. To deny what exists and that it happened. America is one of those countries where, and don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-American. I'm pro-truth. We will throw stones and hide our hand in a heartbeat. And this is one more thing that we're trying to clean up and act like that we did. You did this. Now, was it about financial gain? Absolutely, it was free labor. But the way that you went about it, the same thing you did to the Native Americans, own your mess. Why is it that in every aspect of our life that we have to be held accountable for stuff except for that? This is the only area they have gotten to the point that post-COVID, they put laws in place that are anti-Asian and Pacific Islander hate laws in place.
Quick.
They did that in less than 1 year. But all of a sudden, don't you dare teach facts in school that America, most importantly, white Americans, created some atrocities. Don't you dare speak upon that. And it's not to condemn the people that exist today. Like, I come from a background where my grandma knew Emmett Till. Like, she shopped in the town of Money, Mississippi. Like, they lived in that area. I come from that. I know that my grandfather is the product of an interracial relationship where the African-American male was, according to family folklore, he had consenting relations with the plantation's owner's daughter because they were in love, and he was murdered. They had two sons, and the one that could pass got raised by the white family, And the one that did not pass, which was my grandfather, got pushed away. So I know where I come from. Let's not deny that these things happen. At the same time, like, I don't hold that against. I don't look at Jacob and hold that against Jacob.
Right.
I love Jacob.
Shout out to Jacob.
Like,
As you
but,
watch our podcast, your fiance is being mentioned on it.
like, I don't hold the oppression of others and how people were treated or how we were treated back in the day against someone who was born less than 30 years ago, because he's over 20. Like, less than 30. This had nothing to do with him. Like, and even in my addressing their relationship, I was like, look, I have to address a couple of things with you because I didn't raise Ashley that way. Did I teach her our history? Absolutely. I need her to know where she come from. But the ugly side, she's never had to be exposed to. So being down here in the South, and the first time her asking me what a Confederate flag meant, I had to go into detail. And for all intents and purposes, I'm like, this is not to condemn. And I had the conversation in front of Jacob. This is not to condemn you or where you come from. But it's the fact that if you love my daughter and you want to be her husband, you are with a black woman and are going to raise a black woman. Because you two have no children as of yet. Grandson. As of yet. That these things have to address. We can't pretend like it didn't happen. We can't pretend like that these thing isn't an issue today. I had to let Ashley know, you're going to go into some places and people are going to think, what are you doing with him? And some people will get bold enough to say it to you. And Jacob, you coming into a very, very black family.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to preempt my mom with the conversation. The first time that I ever brought home a non-black man, did not go well. Did not go well. My mom still is affected by the atrocities that happened in the civil rights movement. My mom is still affected by that. And so these conversations need to be had. There can be no end to racism without us having the unadulterated, unfiltered conversation.
The thing about it is that it is hard to have the conversation when half of the side doesn't want to acknowledge it. It is the most sincere form of gaslighting, since that's a new term, that has ever been done. Like, so I'm like you. I'm kind of on two sides of the fence. And I come from a perspective where it wasn't readily talked about in my home. But we all knew it was there. I grew up in an basically all black neighborhood, all black school. Nothing but basically like 98% black was around me all my life. Our greatest rivals were two white schools. And so it was, we heard the words all the time, on the field, on the court, past, but yeah, we heard them. So it wasn't something that we really talked about, but it was also something that was readily present. And so you can't have the conversation, however, if the other side is like, but they weren't slaves, they were indentured servants. And why don't you just get over it? It was 400 years ago. Why don't you just get over it? And the reality is, it really wasn't 400 years ago. Like, we make it sound like it ended and everything has been peachy keen since then. But that's not the case. Like, I think states like Alabama till like 1990 or something like that, and Georgia and Mississippi still had slavery language in their laws that were actionable. They just didn't go forth with them, but they were still on the books. Like, they just abolished lynching in some states. Like, it's 2023.
Still legal in some states.
It is not like this thing has gone away. And so it is hurtful to keep it back and act like it didn't happen. But at the same time, Yo, we got to stop blaming everything on it. Like at some point, some type of accountability has to be taken in order to be able to successfully move forward. And I don't mean accountability from the other side. Mm-hmm. I mean our accountability. Like, so I know that, you know, that oppressive period or whatnot was horrendous. Thank God I didn't have to live through it. However, that oppressive period is not the reason that in the 80s and 90s a bunch of us were smoking crack. Mm. That oppressive period is not the reason why a bunch of black men have abandoned their families. That oppressive period is not the reason why a whole lot of y'all don't like to read. So there has to be some kind of balance where we acknowledge it, but we don't let it hold us back. I think that's the thing, just as a holistic thing. I have a disdain when I hear folks who ain't us, who don't look like us, who don't have our history, say get over it. You didn't go through what we went through, and you don't have the residual scars. Like when I found out that the average melanated person in this country suffers from secondhand PTSD, it was floored. It's a real thing. Mm-hmm. It's a real thing that therapists are digging into, where it's not that we are directly affected because of we went through it. So it's not that kind of, but we live with the scars of the people who live with the scars, and because they had the scars, we have the scars. DNA. Yes, it is. And I knew that was gonna happen. I knew you was gonna do that. Y'all talk while cause it's getting ready to flip onto the thing. So y'all talk while I fix. You know what to do.
So like to find out, and I was watching TikTok. Okay, so I'm obsessed with TikTok. Saw Ashley's fault. I blame Ashley. She was like, "Mommy, watch this TikTok video," and next thing you know, I was watching a whole bunch. Anyway, so I found out that slavery was actually abolished in 1995 in Mississippi. They were the last state. I had graduated high school and got pregnant and ready to give birth to a whole human being, and slavery was still legal in Mississippi. Can you believe 1995? While all these people talking about Freaknik in 94, it was still legal in Mississippi. Can you believe that? Like that alone, like they finally, 130 years after federal law, they finally put it on the book. They literally still had sharecropper plantations that people were working to work off debts to work off debts from their family generations years ago to people who were dead. Free labor camps in Mississippi. I was floored that these people did not know that they did not have to do what they were doing in order to survive.
And it's 2:23. And it's about what, 96?
95.
95?
Yeah, that's 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I was pregnant with Ashley when this happened. I'm like, how is that even a thing?
And this is why I say it is impossible to move forward if one side's not recognizing what happened at the same time. Read a book. You read a book, it'll tell you a whole lot of stuff. And I'm serious.
I
like
want
read
us
a book.
To get beyond the fact of just having to read a book. Because let me be honest with you, if people like Governor DeFraud in Florida have his way, they're gonna start abolishing books.
Well, that's my point. Because the reason he's after the books is because there are so many of them that contain the information that we need. When I say read a book, I'm not talking about your textbooks. Most of what we have learned and know about slavery did not come in nobody's school.
Yeah.
It came from the authors and the people who wrote about it that we found in libraries, or we heard about somebody else reading. We got a hold to it. That's what I mean when I say read a book. There's so much information that's out there for us that we refuse to. This should have been a good conversation. We should have had Eddie on for too.
We should have had Eddie. Eddie, are you out there? No.
Because we've been talking about this, we didn't drop down to one.
Oh,
folks do
man.
not like these kind of conversations.
Oh, well.
But this is also even my point.
Like we don't even want to have the conversation. We can't even address it.
And so how can we move forward if everyone is not on the same page with addressing it and dealing with it? The only way to move forward from something is, yes, there has to be acknowledgement of the thing. And it's not just the acknowledgement, there has to be some remorse. Because I'm tired of hearing the other side of the hand be like, well, we know what happened, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. But here's the reality of it. You did benefit from it. The fact that you didn't do it isn't why we're upset. It's the fact that you refuse to admit that you are benefiting from the stuff that your ancestors put our ancestors through. The fact that you're able to, you had not just a 400-year head start in terms of just overall, but the head start you continue to get. It is so much easier to get a loan when you're not melanated. It is so much easier to start a business. It is, even with the affirmative action type stuff that our government has put in place, they're trying to get rid of now to help us out, which really statistically has helped more white folks, especially white women, than it has any black person on the face of the planet. So, but that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. Like, all of these things are reasons why you were able to be where you're at, and I'm stuck where I'm at. The fact that you were able to own land and pass land down from generation to generation. Do you understand how much wealth came because somebody in your family had land? And we were promised land we never got because that land has worth.
Like the 40 acres and a mule came with the price, because you still had, this is why they still were able to legally do it in Mississippi up until 1995. People thought they were working off the paying for the land that had been sold to someone else.
Wow. And speaking of land wise, it's crazy because my family owns a lot of land. And in the area, most of us own land. But would sell it dirt cheap, or when the older people started dying off,
the kids didn't want it.
So either they leave the land and don't do nothing with it, because if you don't pay your taxes,
the government owns your land,
and somebody can easily buy your land.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic. The way that this country does taxes, property taxes.
So it's
such
crazy.
a ripoff.
So if my mom does not pay anything else, she pays for that land, to make sure that, the land is there. And I think that my grandparents or their parents was just smart, because they didn't leave the land in one person's name. So it's their property. So that way everybody has to get together before you're able to sell it.
That's wonderful.
So, of course, that's possibly the only reason why we still have land, because somebody probably would have sold it off, because once they leave that area, nobody really tries to go back.
Right.
And so what they try to do is try to flood out the area, because the dam is in one major city, like when we had Hurricane Floyd. They didn't fix the dam that was in the area, so it flooded out the land. That was the first time that it flooded, well, during my time. And then it flooded again. People rebuilt. And then the same thing happened again. They had to release the dam. They didn't have a choice but to release it. Either release it enough to keep the dam from breaking, or let the dam break, and then everybody loses everything.
Right.
So after the second time from the flooding, people didn't come back. So whether they're still paying on land or not, I don't know. But that is how most people don't stay in the area now. It's already a small town, so it's really small now because people didn't come back.
Because we don't really understand the value of land. Like, I actually have land, technically. My mom, yeah, go ahead. My mom passed on hers and my dad's property to me, Josh and Mel. And much like her mom did, made sure all three of us were, we all had to sign off if anything gets done. I ain't going back to Aliquippa. That is not happening.
But like, even with you not wanting to go back there, and I think this is like a conversation that really needs to be had in a future podcast about our understanding of finances and building and trust and wills and stuff like that. Because the problem is that most people don't understand, like, so property taxes are a complete ripoff. Like, you never truly own your land because you still have to lease it from the government every year. That's basically what it boils down to. Your property taxes are you leasing your own property from the government. And as soon as you miss a payment with the government, then they seize it. And then they will sell it to somebody else for dirt cheap. But, like, understanding that, having living wills and having trust and not allowing one person to make a decision on it, and this is how we build generational wealth. Like, but it takes us to not be so focused on the past and they were able to get away with that. We have way too much social media and the internet, Google, such a powerful tool. You don't have to let what happened to your ancestors happen to you.
Absolutely.
So, like, when it comes to stuff like that, but we just have to be smarter about it. And I think if we could learn anything, and really this is what it is, it's purely foolish American pride. It really is. Germany was able to acknowledge their wrongdoings, pay reparations to the people who were wrong, not only the ones who were still living, but their descendants and their descendants. And so they can make right what was wrong. And the fact that they publicly acknowledged that it was an atrocity, not just one man did it, but it was a societal atrocity. And they publicly acknowledged that. We will never get America to admit that we messed up, that we had a wrongdoing. And this is why they won't do reparations. They don't want to admit that we messed up. We treated human beings inhumanely. They will never admit that. And this is why a lot of these countries who do this are advancing quicker than us. And yet we're supposed to be the greatest nation in the world. And we're behind in so many things because of pride. It's just foolish pride. Like, I understand, like, I have my own quips about you and pride. I don't think it's that deep, but that's me. But as far as American pride, like, we ridiculousness. Like, we don't have it to do, and we overtake it. We can't admit that we were wrong, that we messed up. We don't have it all figured out. We were still a young nation and growing. Just admit that what you did was inhumane. We don't even need an apology. It's like Jesus at this moment. Like, an apology ain't gonna help nobody. Just acknowledge that you did it. If you could believe with your heart and confess with your mouth, just do that. Just do that. Just believe that, look, what I did, God does not approve of. And please, if one person comments on this podcast, is this slavery in the Bible? No, that was
whole different type of thing.
It was not what happened here in America. It was not. It was really a financial thing as well. And those people only had to do it for a certain period of time to work off a debt.
Well, here's the thing. You mentioned you mentioned Germany. The reason I think that Germany was able to successfully acknowledge, eradicate, and move forward from is because, unlike us, they had an actual face.
Yeah.
Hitler was the face. We don't have a face. We have a hue, but we don't have a face. There was no one person responsible for what we went through.
Right.
There was one person responsible in Germany who caused a mass of people to do what was done to the Jews. It was a countrywide decision in America.
Even for the people who didn't agree, there was a group of Puritans who did not agree with it. But yet, it still happened here. They ain't have a choice.
And here's the other thing. So, like, in I want to say it was Saudi Arabia when Saddam Hussein was dealt with. I say it that way. One of the first things that they did there was remove his face off their money. Pull out a dollar bill. $5 bill, $100, pull them out. All you see are the symbols of our oppression. You see it from.
Oh, and don't tear down one of those statues.
That's what I was just getting ready to go to them man.
Ooh, they.
Which bugs me because
Pennies are up all kinds of butts.
y'all lost. America's supposed to be the place of winners. When do we start rooting and supporting the losers? Y'all lost. I'm sorry, but you did. It's not. I didn't write it. I wasn't there. I had nothing to do with it. All I know is y'all lost. And there are more statues of the loser than there are of the winner. That don't make no sense to me either. But so like moving forward, it's a process, and it's a process that is. I don't think this country will ever be able to come to, because both sides can't agree on a starting place to move forward in. One side wants to start 700 years ago. Another side wants to start in 2030. But I feel like if we just as individuals decide to make a decision, I'm going to learn from this, but I'm not going to be hindered by it. And I say that in my quick preacher voice. Apply that to all areas of your life. Learn from your past. Don't dwell in your past. Your past will hurt. Your past will. It's there. It needs to be acknowledged. It needs to be handled. But you can't stay there, because if you stay there, you start blaming everything on it. And like I said, that time frame didn't start the crack epidemic. That time frame didn't start the degradation of our women. That time frame didn't start us deciding we don't want to work in mass numbers the way we're doing. That time period didn't start this over romanticism of the rap culture or sports, and this is our only way out. It didn't do that. It's why, real quick, and then we're gonna hit break. As much as I'm not a LeBron James fan, this is why I respect that dude. That dude said, "Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to keep some key people around me who have some sense and want to do some things. They don't want to be stuck in Akron. They don't want to be stuck in their little small little surrounding. We're gonna build ourselves a team, and we're gonna create an empire. I don't just want to play ball all my life, because I can't play ball all my life. But I'm gonna play ball.
Because your knees will betray you.
They sure will. Father Time wins always. I'm gonna play ball and be the best ball player I can be. But while I'm doing that, on the side, I make some deals, and I'm gonna get in the movies. I'm gonna put my face here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna set you here and help you establish the #1 agency in sports. Forget what the name of it is now, but the dude who runs LeBron James sports agency, that dude is at the top of everybody's list. He has put people together because I've recognized something. I've learned from the past. I learned from what Mike did. Mike built an empire off of some shoes. Okay, cool. What can I do to better that? And yet it's still, unlike Mike, it's still very involved in black issues, speaking and making stands. And here's the parlay. So just recently, I think a couple of days ago, quarterback by the name of Jalen Hurts for the horrible Philadelphia Eagles team, go Cowboys. He, as I say this on the podcast on April 22nd, 2023, because it's going to change real quick, is the highest paid player in the NFL, black man. You know how he did it? He has an all-female black female agents.
Black girl magic.
They negotiated the highest contract in NFL history for this black man. He saw what LeBron, there's no way he didn't see what LeBron did and said, I want to do that. There's no way these women didn't see what LeBron's team did and said, we can do this. This is what I mean when I say, learn from the past, pain and not, and then take it and move forward with it so that you can do something greater with it, or so that you learn from your mistakes from it. This country hasn't learned from its mistakes and won't, which is why it's not moving forward, which is why I'm sorry. We're already repeating it. Yeah. And it's not just black folks this time who are in danger of it. All the Latinos are in grave danger. I just watched a report from John Oliver, and he does it in a comedic way, but he was talking about the farming industry. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know that, farming pays little, and it's mostly Latinos who do it because we ain't picking nothing no more. Y'all got us one time, you ain't gonna get us again.
Ain't gonna get us again.
But when he described the conditions that are legal for them to have, it blew my, I said, this is too reminiscent. They are in shacks. There is video of this one, I guess they call them farm masters. I don't know what they're called. Just berating all of the people that are working under him and telling them, keep playing. I will call it. I'll call
NSA.
NSA. ICE on you or this, and threatening their families and threatening to beat them, and it was legal. And then at one point called them all the N-word, and then when this news station got a hold to that fact that they did it, the guy, the reporter went to the farm, talked to the wife first, because it's a husband and wife owned farmland. And she said, well, I don't see why he would do that. We don't have any here. And then the reporter,
that was okay.
Yeah. And then the reporter talked to the husband. And the reporters didn't just say we don't have any, said we don't allow any here. And I was like, yo.
Wow, so we're not even going to acknowledge that you said the N-word and that you mean black people. Wow.
This is what I'm saying. And so if we don't, the cliche is true. If you don't learn from your past,
you're
doomed to repeat it. So that sounds like a really good time. Take a quick break. We're going to come back with a, hey, listen, if the two of y'all who are still on, do me a favor. Tag some folk in this podcast, because this topic is one you absolutely are going to want to hear, because we're going to deal with something that has been in the news for the last couple of days, and I'm going to have some fun with it. We'll be right back with more Real Talk.
When you look your best, you feel your best. When you look together, you feel together. Where do you go when you need the right accessories? You come see me. I have everything you need for the colors, for the classics, for the rings, for the bling, for every outfit, for your casual outfits, for your formal outfits, for your work outfits, for your hangout with your girls outfits, for your going out to dinner outfits. Anytime you need the accessories to add that bling to your life, come see me. I am Maya Jordan, and I am the owner of Crown Jewel. You can find me on Facebook at Maya Jordan. That's MayaJordan. And I am also on Instagram as Queen Elizabeth Jordan. So the next time you need some accessories or any kind of consulting, feel free to see me, inbox me, or catch one of my lives. Have a great evening.
All right, we back. All right, let's get into what I like to call the Real Talk Hot Topic of the Week. I'm going to call it that until I decide not to. I don't know if it's going to stick or not, but for right now, it's going to stick. So, look, it's been all over the news, been all over the internet. Let's talk fighting. This teacher mollywopped the floor with this student. Oh, yeah, she dog walked her. Once her hair, it was kind of an even fight until the student pulled her hair.
Yeah.
She pulled that lace front out or that weave track or whatever it was.
Yeah,
No, it was braids.
She pulled her hair out.
Yeah, whatever it was. Once she pulled it, the fight turned.
Yeah.
She hit her, dropped her, sat on her, and put her hand right in her face. Get a teacher. Get a teacher. Here's what I wanted to deal with this. Because I'm so tired of hearing people be like, oh, my God, the teacher was so wrong. Oh, my God, the teacher was so wrong. And I'm also tired of hearing people say, oh, my God, the parents should have better control of their kids. Listen. The teacher was kind of wrong. Watch the video. The teacher was kind of wrong. She jerked back at her twice and then pushed her. And then the student swung. Everybody talking about the student swung first. But the teacher gave two motions like, I'm getting ready to hit you, with a phone in her hand, and then pushed her. Now, that being said, I'm so glad that student got dog walked. You have no idea. Forget just my parents being who they were. It never crossed my mind to ever swing on an adult in my life. I am 41 years old, and I'm still hesitant about swinging on an adult. Y'all were with me when we was at service when that man walked up on me. I had plenty of opportunity to drop him. And I was hesitant. I was not because I was scared. I had the knife in my hand. I could have unalived him very quickly. I had to, I got to choose the words carefully.
Yeah, you can say unalive. Yeah.
I had to help. I had to make sure he could go see the king. I was gonna give him I could have given him a personal introduction, so it wasn't that. It was my mind was like,
Well,
this another adult. What am I doing swinging on an adult? It never crossed my mind to swing on what is going through her head that said, hey, hit this teacher. She won't give you what you want. Hit her. I'm so glad she got dog walked. Oh, my God. You don't understand how much joy that gave me. And the fact that all the other students had enough sense to not do anything.
yes.
And she's screaming, y'all see her? Y'all see her? Y'all let this happen? No, you brought this on yourself.
Get somebody else to do it. I'm not in this fight.
I'm Stevie Wonder now. I can't see nothing. My Sherry, I don't see nothing. Because my mom used to always say, stay in a child's place. The moment you come outside of being a child is the moment I'm going to treat you like an adult.
Yes.
And you don't want to be treated like an adult. So stay in a child's place. She stepped up like an adult. She swung like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
She got handled like an adult. But the reason I want to deal with that, and not so much just that in particular, that's just the most recent one. Why is there just this seemingly just rash of students thinking they can fight teachers and fight grown folks?
Well, it's been happening. It's just never been like as big as this one, because I think most of the part it wasn't even about the fight. It was mainly because they were able to see all the teachers behind. It's why it went so viral the way it did.
It's Cheeksgate.
Yeah. So that's mainly why I think that it went viral.
Well, her
So
attire is a
it's-
whole different conversation, but
Yes,
we're going
I'm
to get into
just
that
saying.
too. But yeah.
I'm just saying, I
Mhm.
just think that was a major part of it. But they have been showing viral videos of kids actually jumping on teachers for a long time. it's just not been so much talked about. And plus, it happened in Rocky Mountain, North Carolina. It was going to really be talked about. But because there was another teacher that ended up with a student jumped on her, and her leg got broke in the midst of the fight. Now, there was another teacher on the outside of the door, and she was asking this particular teacher for help. And when the child swung on the teacher that was asking for the help, the other teacher was left. So nobody came to help her. So as the fight went on, they fell out the door. So you can pretty say, I'm not going to say that she fell pretty much on top of the child. So I don't know how the leg broke, because after that piece of the video had stopped. So she could have actually broke her leg falling out the classroom. But that child has been charged. But I think she went to juvenile court. They didn't take her to adult court, but she did go to juvenile, and that's still going on now. But this particular teacher here, she had no choice but to defend herself. This child had pulled her hair out by the root. There is no hair left in that spot. It's like matching your face. She pulled it out by the root. I used to always tell my kids, I fight your battles. Whatever's going on, you come to me. You don't approach an adult that way. Now that they're grown, you can't dare tell them that. You know, they ain't listening to that. I look like telling them, you better not say neighbor to come talk to me. That's not happening now. So I advise you not to go to my kids sideways. They're grown now.
Especially that one called Tabitha.
Oh, yeah.
The one nor the two.
Tabby,
She don't play no
Tabby
games.
Seems quiet, but don't let that quietness and that smile fool you, because she would fight before any of them. Naya used to do the talking, and Tabby would start doing the fighting. Tabby's never been
She's like, that's enough talking, let's fight.
Yeah, she's like her mom was. I was quiet. There was no conversation. Either we fighting or we
Right.
I'm not conversating. People will be laughing and joking because I'm not saying nothing. I'm not scared. But if you stupid enough to hit me, you're going to find out. So, yeah.
The more you mess around,
Right.
the more you find out.
Yeah. So, but, yeah, I mean, I personally don't blame the teacher. People can feel how they feel on that, because you're not going to run up on me and I'm going to be like, that's a child. Your mind is not thinking about all the rules of the things that you're supposed to de-escalate the situation. Well, at least my mind is not going to be doing all that. I'm not that mature yet. But people are complaining and saying that she was wrong, you know. And then they wanted to talk more about what she had on. What her clothes had to do with that young lady jumping on her.
Because from what I understand, the entirety of the incident started because the student was taking pictures
Of her butt.
of her butt.
So, like, people wanna they wanna be like with her, and please, can we please do away with the grape culture of telling women that we shouldn't dress a certain way because that brings about people attitude, and telling people your behavior is the problem, your thinking is problematic. Like, it's absolute foolishness. For all intents and purposes, had that been a man, that person would have been charged with SA, taking inappropriate pictures of that teacher. But because this is a girl and a kid, we supposed to just poo-poo that.
Well, I don't know if she's not going to be charged yet. Like that, I know that she's been
so she was
charged with minor assault, but
yeah, that's what she's been charged with.
But once they go through the phone, assuming the pictures there, because you have to prove that was the case,
Right.
And if those pictures are still there,
Right.
she gonna get charged.
Right. But I mean, like, we have gotten to the point, and I understand. So I think a pendulum swing happened in between our generation, where we were. So back in high school, and I won't even mention my high school because this guy's still a teacher to this day, and he actually goes to the high school reunion picnics. But there was a gym teacher. I'll just put it like that. There was a gym teacher.
Internet, start doing what you do. Y'all know what to do.
There was a gym teacher that had, like, it was not closeted that he had relations with the students. And then I went on to college, and he was a college coach there. I'll just leave it at that. And they still in the same age bracket, because these girls who were in college with me would have been my age in high school. So he just moved them over 18. Hopefully, because I was 17 when I started college. It was just icky, but that's my ick of the week. But like we were so quiet to the atrocities that adults performed on us or put us through, that this generation went completely the other way, and now they just have no F's to give. Like and I blame some of the parents. Like, you didn't teach respect in the home. Like, look, my mom, I'm old school. My mom worked at the school, and back in the day, teachers whooped us.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how many people could remember those teachers that had those yardsticks.
Yardsticks?
Yeah. And
shout out to Mr. Mead.
Like, they would look. My mom, one conversation, because the teacher was like, Philonda talks too much in class, and then sometimes she be sleeping in class, and my mom was like, well, so what you doing about it? She was like, no, she gonna get it when she get home, but what you doing about it? She was like, well, I feel like I'm going to spank her. She was like, well, get it done. And then when you get home, another one.
DJ Khaled and another one.
Right.
That's it.
But there was a healthy amount of fear that we had in our parents that gave us a certain amount of respect for other adults. I can remember I was an adult pregnant with my daughter, and a neighbor came to my house and snitched that I was walking down the street, and this dude was holding my booty cheeks. And my mom was like, that's her baby daddy. She is pregnant. He was like, no, she not. She was like, yeah, she is. She's just wearing a coat. She's pregnant. That's her baby daddy. I understand. And she's an adult. So, like this is what adults used to do back in the day. But now, you better not say nothing to nobody's kid. You definitely better not touch nobody's kid. And they not being disciplined at home. And look, some of your sweet little angels you are sending them to school are terrorists. Look, we love Sweet Layla.
That's my gummy. Watch your mouth about my gummy worm now.
Sweet
Be
Layla,
careful.
But Sweet Layla has only been Sweet Layla at home. Sweet Layla is an emotional terrorist at school lately.
That sounds like a them problem, not a me problem.
But, like, so I'm never going to discount. I'm like, look, and the fact that, like, with that whole situation, I'm like, so let me get this straight. You complaining about her, you want to medicate her, but you let the parent be a parent at the school. You don't want me to do anything about the problem, but you want to medicate her. And this is how we end up with kids like this now. The fact that let's not even negate that this is a black community thing. Let's not forget that a Caucasian 6-year-old just went into a school not even less than a month ago and shot and killed a teacher. These teachers out here are doing jobs many of us ain't gonna do. We ain't got this to do with your kids.
I sure don't.
Not gonna do it.
I don't like your kids that much.
The first time you
Or
cuss at me, spit at me, and you better not put your hands on me, I'm going to jail. I have threatened kids in Bible study. I'm
not sure the statute of limitations is up, so and you on camera. So I'm just saying.
Prove that I did it.
You just said it. You just said
but
it.
I ain't named what kids, so you still ain't no video evidence. Unlike these kids with these phones in that classroom, it wasn't no video evidence. Look, I'm not playing with your kids. If you ain't taught your kid how to act right, and then you send them into these schools because you let them get away with this kind of crap at home, or you gonna deny that your child got some bad behavior. Not that they're a bad kid, but they got some bad behavior. that nobody is correcting. And then you want to sit up there and send them out into the, and then all these hours with these teachers, you got to deal with your trash children.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, because when you honestly think about it, teachers raise your children.
They do. They
Because
spend
you
more
maybe
time
got,
with them.
You may got a good, 4 hours if they're young with your own child.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the morning, you're possibly going to work. They're going to school. By the time they get home, do homework, take a bath, eat, it's time to go to bed and get ready. So for you to act like you're raising this angel, you know about your children. Those teachers know more about your kids than you do.
Right.
But
they see unfiltered.
Yeah, but when you think about it, it had actually changed. When they started changing the law about you disciplining your own children.
That right there.
That is where the problem started from.
Mm-hmm.
Is if you discipline your child, you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one of my kids told me they was going to call them. I will dial the number.
Oh, listen.
By the time they get here, I got a reason to go to jail.
911.
My mother,
I cannot.
the
I
late,
can't discipline you. I'm the one that stayed in labor for 26 hours. With the
Preach.
first one, 18 with the other one, and then they cut me for them other two. You will not raise my household. You're not going to tell me what I can and I can't do with my own children. These people are over the age of 22, so you are late now. I done raised them people. And they did not go to school disrespecting no teachers. My oldest would say, my mom is crazy because the teacher called me and told me, I think they just missed their mom. Missed their dad because we had moved away. And I said, oh, okay. I called the principal. I said, if I can't come discipline my child, tell me now because I'm not coming to the school.
Right.
And he said, do what you got to do. I had to walk 2 miles to this school, so I was already mad.
Ooh.
somebody getting beat.
Good.
Somebody getting jacked up.
Somebody.
So I get to the class, and she's like, oh, so sweet. And, and I was like,
Then why am I here?
where's she at? Come out. I said, what's the problem? Because I said, beat her, go back in the class and miss your daddy some more. My child tell the rest of them, Mama will come beat you in class. I'm telling you right now
Where
because
you
she did that to
stand.
me. I don't play that, because I don't send you to school to cut up, and I can't be leaving my job to come discipline you, deal with you because you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
But here's my thing. So first of all, I just felt the spirit of my mother Sandra Jones all over that story because my mom was one of them. She'll beat you and the teacher, and not flinch. Staten Island, New York, crazy. She don't care. And please don't let Raymond Jones have to come to school because it's not gonna go cute. But there's also, to me, and this is what I was saying as well, that there is this assumption, however, that the parents aren't disciplining their kids. Mm-hmm. Speaking of Layla, you just said it. She is sweet as pie at home. Mm-hmm. I ain't never seen her throw a chair. She know better. Girl. But in school, though, she throwing chairs.
She trying to hold WWE matches.
We're here. We're here. She know better than do it. She don't do all nothing up with me. Nah. The wrestling we do, I will toss her around on the bed. I'll throw, I'll stand off the bed for y'all who got R. Kelly vibes. No. I'm off the bed. She's small. I pick her up and slam her on the bed. She laugh. Come back to CJ. That's what we do.
Please make sure.
But that's about the extent of it, and she don't try none of this with me. No, that's not what we do. I'm too grown for you. She has yet to ever ball her. Now she's done to Ashley, but she has yet to ever ball her fist up at me because she know better. Yeah, she's done it. She double knee dropped her mama when her mom was laying down. She wanted to play, and she got as
With
high as her little body
accuracy.
could, and just ran them knees right in her
Dead
back. Sorry about that, Ashley. But at the same time, this sweet young girl is not that in school. And so sometimes I think the parents are getting a different side of their child because children know how to be devious and they're getting a different side of their child at home than the teachers get in school and even their friends get when they're out with their friends. So the assumption that the parents, I don't know what this parent's doing or not doing. From what I know, the parent has not said a word. Although had that been my mama, she'd been all over the news 6 or 7 different times.
Because they would have reported on my death. That's what would happen.
I promise you. But
we don't need to go GoFundMe. I had life insurance. I brought her into this world and I took her out. So,
oh no, you got. but there's the Sandra Jones addendum. I brought you in this world. I'll take you out and I'll make another one look just like you. I won't have. I'll name him Jesse. I ain't got to change pictures. She kept clothes. I ain't got to buy no new ones. They fit him like that. That was my mom and dad. That's how they were. But there could be a complete difference in how this child is acting at home versus how they're acting in school. That the kind of discipline we're talking about may not be needed at home because the child is a sweet angel at home. Meanwhile, in school, it's F this, F that, give my F phone, and this, that, and the third. So, like, I think there still has to be balance. I really wish there was more personal accountability for the student. First of all, that student was not a kid.
Oh,
that had to been at least middle school.
No, she was a high school student.
High school makes it even worse.
Yeah, she was a high school student.
What your mama and daddy do in terms of discipline by the time you're in high school is irrelevant. This on you. This child is being tried as a juvenile, and I'm sorry, this is just me. They need to try this child as an adult. You have done adult stuff. This was not an incident where you accidentally did it or you didn't know what you was doing. You went with the intention of swinging on her.
Yes.
And because you did that, cool. You want to be an adult. Come on, get these adult consequences. That's the part of the accountability that I think is no longer a thing. The reason that you're right, when they started dictating how you can discipline your child, it changed the dynamic. But along with them changing the dynamic of how we discipline our child, they stopped really trying kids as adults. Like, I know there should be some cases where, it's a kid, calm down. But there's a whole lot of these cases where like, yo.
12-year-old kids got
this is a doggone adult act.
The little boy who was wrestling his cousin in Florida that got charged and is doing life in prison for murder.
That one ticks me off because that shouldn't have been tried as an adult. They were wrestling and playing and the kid got killed. It's a tragedy, absolutely. But we're going to try an accident as an adult. Meanwhile, charge an intent as a juvenile.
Right.
Make up your mind.
Right. Like,
try this kid as an adult. I don't believe the teacher should be tried. I do think that the teacher should be suspended. She shouldn't be charged, but she should be suspended, not be able to teach for 6 months or something like that. Just to, hey, look. Because
I think she's planning on going back to say.
Oh, she's not. She said she's done.
She
like,
said she's done.
As much as she has a heart for children, the way that she has been addressed and dragged in.
But that's what I'm saying. Because she was
done.
But if it had been done differently, she would still be teaching. So I'm saying in a world where she wasn't dragged because she beat up on this child, which she should have, but. Rather than being charged, she should be suspended for 6. Now she won't want to teach after in that time frame, cool, but she should be suspended for these 6 months.
Right.
Because prior to all of that, again, for me, I watched the nuance. Cannot in the hood do one of those, and it not be the first one of these.
Well, yeah, I did see that.
Then there was a second, and then you pushed the kid.
I seen that part, but she kept telling her, and she said, if you seen her video, she had her backed into a corner.
Oh no, I saw.
There was.
I saw.
You
are strong enough to dog walk this child. You telling me you can't shoulder push past her, to move, to give
No,
yourself
she
some
did
room.
try to push her.
No,
And that's
show.
what
I
pissed
mean,
me
well, I
off.
mean, shoulder push, walk past her
No,
to get some room.
so-
No, because she would have still jumped on her. The child was already.
But
at
now,
the
but
motion.
now,
Because
I
we
give
don't know
you.
where the video. We don't know where the video started from because, like, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Something's already started and then
Right.
you get the partial
Right.
of the video.
But that I would have given more credence to, because at the very least now I'm watching, rather than you jerk to punch or fake a punch or feign a punch, I'm now watching you actively try to maneuver yourself away. I know she was calling for help, but because you know this child is coming up on you, you got to maneuver. You got to maneuver yourself.
Here is why teachers don't do that. This is why she flinched to maybe see if she would back off. Unless you work in a school with children with behavioral disabilities and are trained to physically restrain them, only in those school settings, you can't even push a kid. You can't move them out of the way physically.
Well, she
put
already
your
messed up
hands
and did
on
that. She pushed the child after the second flinch.
No, that's what I'm saying. This
But
is
you're
why
not
she
even supposed to
flinched
do
the
it.
first time. You can do that, but you can't
Touch
touch a
them.
kid at all. It's assault.
This
This is why, like I said, like you can't, like if
Yeah.
so, like when they're fighting now, you have to get a resource officer to separate two children. Teachers aren't even supposed to touch them to separate them.
listen.
Yeah,
because of all
promise
this stuff
you.
that is going,
Right.
is going on.
That even
That's why you don't
even
see
with
teachers getting the mix.
they don't. They step back.
even with that, I'm still walking past you in my space.
And
So I'm
you-
not pushing you.
and
I'm
you
wa- I'm
back
wa-
of the head.
I'm
Either
tell I'm
way-
wa- no. See, she first of all she took a blow to the face. That little child ain't hitting that hard. She took a straight shot to the face and ate it. A punch to the back of that teacher's head is not really gonna phase her. Now, I'm walking past because the flinch, the feign at a punch makes it look way worse than what it is, and I'm trying to be cognizant of how this is going to play out. I'm always trying to be conscious of how it's going to play out. Am I going to lose my job? What can I say that's going to make it look less bad on me losing my
Right.
job? So you take the child's phone, which you had every right to do. I heard somebody talk about, hey, listen, most of these schools nowadays, they have contracts that go out to the parents, and with the contract that goes out to the parent, the contract stipulates that there should be no cell phone use in the classroom. As a matter of fact, they're not even supposed to have it out in the school at all. It's really only supposed to be, hey, Michael, how's it going, sir? It's only supposed to be maybe in your backpack or in your locker room. You're not even supposed to have it on you in the classroom. So this is not something that's not already a violation. So I've taken your phone with cause. You take this phone with cause. You see this girl is already, and she's been the teacher has been substituting at that school for some time. This wasn't her first enter. This ain't the first time you've seen this girl.
Right.
So you know she one of them rowdy ones. Why would you walk to the corner
She
with
went to
this?
use the phone.
Yeah, the phone's
I
in the
know
corner.
that, but I'm saying you know this child. You know the child is rowdy. I'm not walking to the corner to get no teacher.
Well, see,
I'm opening the door.
But there's
no, the thing is, she's probably never approached that child. Probably never
Right.
approached her like that.
this
So
was
she's
never
doing the piece
interaction
that she
between
had
them.
to do was to go call
A
because
resource
that was what a
officer.
lot of people were saying is
Yeah, I saw
why
the
did
phone
she
in there.
call? But she went to make the phone call and didn't get nobody. She made the phone call twice, but with the and then you hear people saying, well, why she just didn't give her the phone back and then put
Nah,
her
you don't get the
class?
phone back. You don't get the phone back.
Or so what she was saying was possibly right as far as why didn't you how you just gonna take mine and nobody else?
'Cause I see yours.
Because well, she had to see the other people too because they were recording.
No, I see the other people recording while I'm dealing with you. If you sit yourself down, I can then deal with these other little Negroes who got their phones out.
Right.
But because you were in my face, I got to deal with you first. I missed I've never thought, this is how I know I'm getting old now. I never thought I would get to the stage in life where I would miss because I said so. Why are you taking my phone and nobody else? Because I said so. That's why.
Right.
I said I'm taking it, and I have the authority to do it. You ain't supposed to have it. I'll deal. Don't worry about. Oh, and my other favorite. I ain't dealing with your little friends. I'm dealing with you. I wish I would tell my mama, but everybody else had this. I ain't everybody's mama. I'm yours.
Right.
Like I miss those days, so I know she could have done that. But there were a few other ways. Just having watched the video that I see that she could have maneuvered differently than I would have, which is the only reason I'm suspending her. I'm not suspending her for dog walking this kid. I'm not. I'm suspending you because there were a few other ways you could have handled before the dog walk. Once you got swung on, dog walk her. Dog walk her. And she, I promise you, she gave greater restraint than I ever could. Because once you swing on me and I'm in the mode of swinging back, when I mounted you,
fighting.
I am.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna hammer until somebody pull me off. She had the restraint up to body slam her, put her get a teacher, y'all. Somebody get a teacher. Nah.
Yeah, because she wasn't even really leaning. She just had a
Hand on
down,
her.
Like,
because the kid shouldn't have been able to scream nothing but ow. You got coherent words out of your mouth. I'm hammering down. I promise you, I'm hammering down. So I'm not mad at you for dog walking. I'm not. But there's a few other ways of handling it. And the fact that they have decided to charge them both is ridiculous. Charge her. I can't defend myself no more.
You can't.
well, so, even if they hadn't decided, the parents could still press charges.
For what? Your child swung on me first. Your child committed assault. And wait, what state was that in again?
North Carolina.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but ain't North Carolina a stand your ground state? I think it is. I think North Carolina is a stand your ground state.
No.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on.
think
I
so.
am not 90%.
It's like, oh, well, let me go back. I got some unfinished business. Let me say something. But not like.
Yeah, I don't think North Carolina is. There are a lot of things, but I don't think they'll stand your ground.
But
They got to stand your ground law. Sure do. I just looked it up. I knew I was crazy.
That's a weapons charge. That's not a physical charge.
Yeah.
No, but stand your ground.
Now, if she'd have shot the kid.
Stand your ground, but stand your ground.
Right.
That's the portion that people focus on. Stand your ground as a law. It also involves your right to be able to defend. You can use reasonable force.
It says, as of December 1st, 2011, citizens throughout North Carolina had the legal right to defend themselves from a threat of violence without first being required to retreat. This is the date of that North Carolina's Stand Your Ground law took effect.
Do it apply for children?
It says
so here's the
as
thing.
long as you have
It doesn't matter who the assailant is. You are allowed to defend yourself, but you must use what's considered reasonable force. Reasonable force is she was very reasonable, and that's what I'm saying. So the fact that she is charged is ridiculous.
He or she reasonably believes that such force is necessary. They're talking about deadly force. Is necessary to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to himself or herself or another.
I'll tell you how a lawyer would argue that. Because the statute says bodily harm. She starts swinging on me, and I'm in a corner. Bodily harm is going to come to me. Nope. I'm allowed to use reasonable force to get this heifer up off me. And she did, because again, she subdued her, and y'all gonna charge her. Okay, so next time, no, I'm not gonna say that because Facebook and everybody and their mom will come after me. But I got some thoughts. Yo, inbox the Real Talk Facebook page, and I'll tell you what my thoughts are.
I'm bringing it. I wish you would.
I am bringing.
I live in the wish factor.
Right. Wait. What's?
But see, that's why everybody know everything is not your calling. Teacher was not my calling. Cause daycares, I can't deal with your
none
kid.
of that. My mom for years, she was like, "Oh, you would be so great at this," and I was like, No, because what if somebody's kid came up missing? She was like, how would they come up missing? How wouldn't they?
This would
Now I
have
gotta
been
fight the mama.
Is in your headset?
Is he ready to play a song?
I'm not. Hold on. Go ahead, talk. I'm gonna cut it in as soon as it comes on.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's a no for me. It's a no, and I'm like, look at these
Here
are
it
people who are.
What? English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Yes. Then you know what I'm saying. Yes. Describe what Marcellus Wallace looks like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. He's black. Go on. He's bald. Does he look like a bitch? What? Does he look like a bitch? No! Then why you try to fuck him like a bitch, Brett? I didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Brett. You tried to fuck him. And Marcellus Wallace don't like to be fucked by anybody except me.
Oh, Jesus.
You read the Bible.
A whole lot of y'all will recognize this.
Oh, there's this.
Look at
Here it
Facebook
is.
going ahead and
Here it
tweeting
is.
everything.
Ezekiel 25:17.
Ezekiel 25:17.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness. For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison
Every
and
child
destroy
who decides
my
to walk
brothers.
up on me.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
So let me tell you, that right there is me. That's exactly how I would have approached that child. I will smite thee with furious anger. I promise you.
And Facebook like beep 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 beep
beep beep beep beep.
Listen, listen, y'all. People who know y'all know Pulp Fiction. Y'all go ahead and watch the movie again. It's there. Quoted the scripture on. That's one of the reasons I love it. I quoted scripture on him before he smote him. That would have been your child.
But like some of this stuff needs to be revisited. I was like, because these kids nowadays, you got 6-year-olds going into schools killing teachers. You got kids. The 5-year-old that shot his mom in the face for not buying him an Oculus on Amazon. Like, look, at some point, some of these kids ain't acting like kids, and they got to be grown folks' consequences for you not acting like a kid.
Where I believe that too. In those two specific cases you named, however, that's parents' fault. How you 5 and 6 years old got access to a gun? How did you get the firearm?
Seriously though, and I've had to have this, I had this conversation recently. I'm like, look, please stop underestimating the intelligence of your kid, even if you do have a safe, because the woman who got shot in the face and killed by her son over the Oculus, it was in a safe. It was on a safe on a shelf in the closet, but he knew where it was.
Why does your child know where your firearm is? These are the things I think about. And I get that sometimes kids look and whatnot. I get it, but
because I found all of my mama's stuff. I went looking.
I'm nosy,
and I found some stuff that I ain't to this
so
day.
So maybe it's
my
maybe
business. Drink my
maybe it's
water.
just me who grew up in a time frame. Maybe it's me who grew up in a time frame where Sandra and Raymond, my mama and daddy, you was not allowed to go in their room. You lose your legs for even going in their room.
Look, they wasn't in the room all the time.
There.
So
Yeah, that's what I'm
no.
So yeah,
My mama and daddy knew if you was in their room and they wasn't there. Oh, they knew.
My mom didn't look that deep. Like, she be at work, I'm rambling. I need to know where everything is.
Right.
I knew where everything was.
My
I knew where the guns was and everything.
My
But we
mama
played
would
with
have
guns.
told
We
your
were
hide
kids.
all the way up. You
We were
you
kids. We
you
played
would
with
not be
guns.
light right now. You'd be Caucasian. She'd have beat it off of you. That's my mama did not
That's
play.
why you had to turn these bright lights out in here. Don't do that. We're not going to be talking about about my house.
I'm just saying.
That's what we gonna do.
Like at some point, for things like that, the parents had to take some accountability. That's one where I'll say parents have to take accountability for. Your child had access to your firearm, which is a whole nother topic altogether for all y'all second amenders who are, oh my God, we had the right.
These are new breed of kids that came out. Because these kids know how to do a whole lot of extra stuff.
Because the parents are teaching them. People are sending people are sending out Christmas cards with the family, and and they all got AKs, and the 3-year-old got one too. This is a whole different breed of family we dealing with.
It's not just that, because some of these kids come out knowing too much. I'm trying to tell you. Because there's certain things and certain words that your grandbaby have said that you said ain't never been said around. Yeah. So what I'm saying is,
it was said by somebody around her.
It's this set of kids is just different. I don't know what to say about them. They seem like they've been here before. These kids,
as the old folks used to say, they baby been here before.
They baby been here before. Because they just know too much.
They real different.
I want to jack up a 2-year-old that I know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, like, that 2-year-old you talking about needs a little jacking, but it's not the 2-year-old. And I can say it because you ain't watched, even if he is. It's the mama. You need a nice foot, as my mom used to say, knee deep in the crack right there. My daddy would say it this way: I'm gonna put my foot so far up the crack of your butt that the water on my knee will quench your thirst.
Mom, I'm trying to beat you out.
Your voice ain't louder than mine.
I know.
Because you be talking like this.
I've been speaking up. It's been reading my words.
Taking a quick break, we'll come back with the world famous, infamous Real Talk Banter and my new favorite game, Pick Your Poison. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey y'all, what's going on? My name is Marcus, host of Correct Me If I'm Wrong podcast, and I do the show with my co-host Candoria Lier. We are based out of Albuquerque, Pennsylvania. On my show, we talk about pretty much any and everything. You can catch our content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and YouTube. So if you ever get a chance, make sure you check us out. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Don't forget to smile. It's a good look.
We back. All right. And welcome to the infamous, world famous Real Talk Banter. Well, right now we have the last few episodes we've been doing my new favorite game. And I am giving free advertisement for this game. This is how much I like this game. It's called Pick Your Poison. And I want you, if you decide to go after and get Pick Your Poison, I don't want you to get the normal one. I want you to get the After Dark edition. What's it called? Hold on. It's called the After Dark edition. Get you Pick Your Poison After Dark.
Don't do
It's
it.
got some ridiculous questions on it
Regular,
that I promise you will never not have fun with. You will be disgusted. You will laugh. You will have a ball with these types of things. And that's what we're going to do here on the Real Talk Banter. We're going to do a few rounds of Pick Your Poison. I'm going to pull them out at random and see what we got. See what happened. Y'all ready? Charise is so not wanting to do this game. She was begging me, please don't do the Pick Your Poison game. Can we not do that? Can you do something else? Nope, Pick Your Poison.
Different.
I'll do something else.
Help me, Lord.
All right. And we starting off with a bang. Here we go. All right, so would you rather have everyone be convinced that you've had sex with a family member even though you haven't, or find a video of your parents on a BDSM porn site?
Well, this video it is, because I don't want nobody to think I was sleeping with my cousin. That's nasty.
It didn't say your cousin. It said a family member. Now, you picked out a specific family member.
Because it better not be talking about my parents or my siblings. That's
It said the question said family member.
I got you, but I'm just saying it's gonna be the video. I'd rather find the video and be grossed out than anybody thinking I slept with one of my family members. That's just nasty.
Look, my mama don't participate in such activities, but it wouldn't be the first time I saw some way too much.
Prayer is a wonderful thing. And
It wouldn't be the first time.
Accuse me. I've been accused of a lot of things in my lifetime. Go on ahead and accuse me. What I cannot do is see my mama and daddy doing any of that. I am sorry. I love what cannot happen.
Mama, no.
Listen, let me ask you a question. You ever want to have sex with me again?
Yeah.
Then I cannot see that because it's not gonna work ever again. I'm gonna have to John Wayne Bob it myself.
Shut the whole thing down.
I might have to go to the store and buy a strap because it's not working. It's done. It's over. Matter of fact, I might just have to divorce you and become a monk. I'm a forsake Christianity altogether and just be a monk and live in silence and isolation. So I never have to talk about it. Never have to be around anybody who could think about it.
There's
Y'all
no
will never
internet
find
in
me.
monastery.
No internet, no phones. You got to hike up mountains and whatnot to get to me. Yeah, no, Jack. What cannot happen is that.
Can't change what the eyes are seeing, no matter how much.
Some things you cannot unsee.
They say that distance allows you to forget some stuff. I'm putting some distance and time in between me and it. I'm changing my name. Jesse saw that. You know who didn't see that? Jamiraquay. That's my new name. That's my new monk name. He didn't see that. So y'all go on ahead and accuse me. I've been accused of all kinds of stuff in my lifetime, and I lived through it, so I'm cool. What you ain't gonna do is that. I promise you that right the heck now. I swear. No, nope, no, ma'am, no, sir. That is not of God. 3 times all of that is all that happened. Thank God there were no cell phones back then. Because I know my father. So.
Sorry.
You just got the visual. You raised the visual, Jesus.
Oh, God. No, my father-in-law was a sweet man.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
No,
Say that if you want to.
nothing happened between them. I don't know how you 3 kids got here.
I do. A trapeze was involved.
Immaculate conception.
Oh, it was immaculate, all right.
Okay, cut it out.
And trapezes was involved, some nets.
God. Let's move on.
High wire act and everything. Well, all I did was read the question. That's all. All right, here the next one. Everybody dropped off on that. All right, here the next one. Call your partner's mother, who in this case I'm now going to say is alive.
Okay.
Just so you can't try to slide out of this one.
Okay.
Call your mother's partner right after you have sex every time to tell her how it was. Or watch a sex tape of your significant other and their most recent ex.
What was the first?
Call your partner's mother right after you have sex every time to tell her how it was.
And give her the play-by-play?
Mm-hmm. I'm calling your mama. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna call your mama. I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem getting play-by-play. Ooh, your daughter did wonderful.
Wow.
I appreciate you.
Please
Thank
don't
you
call
so
my
much.
mom.
Thank you so much for your daughter
God.
being able to be so talented.
Wow. So
Did you teach her anything? Because I think some of that had to be genetic. I don't think she picked that up anywhere. That had to be something that was passed down generation to generation.
Wow. We have a daughter. I just want to point that
out. And she can call Jacob's mama. I ain't got nothing to do with that. You see, it said mama. It did not say daddy, so I'm nowhere involved in any of this. I don't care who get called.
Wow.
It ain't gonna be me.
I'm gonna go with so like I'm a little different. But we would watch that video. I'd be like, what's going on up in there? Did he do anything different? What's happening? I need Jesus. I know. Don't judge me, Charise.
See, if she was looking straight
Still
on at
my
y'all,
bestie.
y'all would be able to see the look she had on her face.
You still my bestie.
Her nostrils are flaring right now. Her nostrils are almost taller than she is right now. They flaring so hard. Which one you got, Charise? You got to answer. Give us an answer.
I did answer. I just didn't hear me.
Well, answer it out loud.
Very low, quiet.
Be loud and proud with it. Be
You
loud and
almost
proud
tried
with it.
You almost tried it.
I did. But I'm going to be watching the porn star stuff. You know, got to watch it. Not calling his mama.
Y'all voyeurs. I'd rather give a play-by-play because I promise you the play-by-play will be less painful.
You want to watch me and my most recent ex? It's not that bad.
He make you make a noise. I can't make you make. You got issues.
Yeah,
No,
that's
I'm a dude.
problematic.
It don't work that way for a dude. Nope. I'm good on that. Mess wrong. How he get that? Now I got to ask you for the ninja's number so I can go. Hey, I just finished watching you. How did you? She would. How'd you get her to do that? What did you do? What was the?
Dude.
Was it the position? What happened? Do I need some extra inches or something? Is that what's going on? Do I need to stick a tourniquet around around mine so it's a little wider? What's going on? What happened? How'd that work? Cause I ain't never heard that before, and looked it like it sounded nice. What the hell?
Oh my God.
I'm just saying. So no.
Drink my water.
Cause she ain't gonna give me her ex's number for me to ask these questions. So no. Just go ahead and let me go ahead and have a conversation with mama. Hey, mama, your daughter was wonderful. I promise you. She almost tried to kill me. All right. So here the next one. Would you rather have sex with the first person you see after leaving the room, or switch lives with the next person that asks you for spare change? That's so rude and messed up.
That is a horrible question.
But you gotta give one. Which one would you rather do?
Well, considering the fact that that my children live with me, so one of them would be the first.
That ain't necessarily true. You go down these steps. We got neighbors, especially our downstairs neighbor right there. You know, with the moo and everything.
I am definitely switching lives with the person with the chain. Because I seen these hooligans out here. So regardless, I'm gonna be in that person's tent. I'm not. No. Heck no. Nope.
What you got, Miss Fernandez?
Well, it wouldn't be the first time I had to ask for a little change. So, just because, like, I'm safe in here, you know, I do that anyway. But if I leave out of this house and I've seen some things.
Right. You step. I mean, like, when y'all tricked me to go outside, when you tricked me to go get your bag early and I looked to the left, it was dangerous. So what I'm saying is I can't leave out of here and survive. I need the change. Change me.
You said, so what you said is, change me, oh God.
Amen.
Make me more like you.
Shondo.
I'm not going to be talking to these people.
Once again, I guess I'm in the minority. Because I'm a cheat. It said out of the room. This is a room. You stand right there.
That's what I'm saying. You live in this house.
Yeah. You stand right there. I ain't bet change for what?
But
stand right there.
What if Charise leave out the door first?
No. She could leave out the door first. You leave out. I'm the last one leaving.
Is this why you always trying to hold the door open? You laugh.
I make sure I know who I'm looking at. The first person I leave out the room. I can do. And Charise is 4'1". I can stand right in front of her and not see her. It's not my
Put
fault.
some respect on her 5 feet, okay?
I will not, because she ain't 5 foot. I want to see a doctor's report and then know that the doctor ain't lying. You ain't seen no credible doctor. Somebody lying to you.
Keep it up. Okay? Keep it up.
Oh, I love these questions. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh, these are horrible. Oh, well, not necessarily for me because I'm a dude. But be unable to have sex without getting pregnant, or become extremely addicted to heroin.
What'd you say the first one was?
You cannot have sex without getting pregnant. Every time you have sex, you get pregnant. Every time. Condom or not, every time.
I really got to think my life through. Yeah. But I've seen them here, but they be having all this cooking.
Love, what you got while she's thinking out loud?
Oh, it's the heroin for me. That's the heroin for me. 'Cause like
36 hours.
36 hours, having to be induced into labor, and it's a no for me. It's a hard pass. Natural childbirth.
Pun intended.
Again, it's a no for me.
I just don't want to go around scratching and stuff all the time and doing that foolishness.
I mean,
but since this ain't really real, yeah, I'm gonna be a heroin.
Because it just said, it's extremely addicted.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Like, if I could go out publicly and scratch my butt without any shame or desire, it's a win-win for me. Because I don't have time to get pregnant because the only thing I'm trying to get in me is heroin. So
No. But if you're extremely addicted,
yeah, I'm good.
you might do some things to get that change, to get that hair on.
At least she won't be pregnant.
You don't know that. Still can
Look,
happen.
Get pregnant in your throat. So,
oh wow.
Wait.
Everybody
That was not a statement
ain't
by
giving you that
me.
change.
Jesse threw his voice. Okay.
Everybody is not giving you that change so you can babysit their kids in your stomach. Everybody ain't doing that.
I'm just saying, I'm living that life right now, and I'm just not. I ain't no.
You really are.
Like for real. Y'all gonna be a junkie.
It's a junkie for the win.
Once again, I'm in the minority because I can't get pregnant. So,
but what if you could, and then you had to push a baby
I kill
out
myself.
of the same equipment?
I'm sorry. I would unalive myself. Unalive myself. Facebook. I said unalive. Yeah, I would do that.
You like Adam.
Adam didn't unalive himself.
I know. I'm just saying.
I would unalive myself. What's not gonna happen?
I'm just saying. This morning you said he was the first person to give birth. So I'm just saying.
He gave birth. He the only man ever gave birth.
So you need to be like Adam.
Nope. Adam messed up the whole world. Adam messed up the whole world. I'm not about to be like Adam, and I'm still alive, and y'all Negroes can blame me. Y'all know, how y'all like to play the blame game. Nope, I'm good. This one ain't fair. I already know which one you picking.
He said that's not fair.
Cause I already know which one she picking. I should throw this one on my left out. I promise I should. Well, I think y'all thinking it was one you picking too, and I'm picking the same one, but still, just for the sake of asking the question. Shower for 2 minutes with boiling hot water. She does that anyway. Or contract HIV while cheating on your partner.
I'm gonna be boiling
hot water. Yeah.
You shower with hot water anyway. That is not even. That's why I said not even fair for you. I'm showering with the hot water, even though all of my man regions do not want me to do that.
When you get that dead on spray right in
that area, that's the best part of making it feel good. Like, yeah, right.
Cause you get that little sting at first, and then you be like,
No. First of all.
That's when you get the
First of all.
That's what
y'all will not give.
Showerhead, you need to fight.
Y'all will not give me concert O face. That's not okay. That is not okay. Second off, as a man, we like our skin.
It's only skin. It grows
back.
But
what I ain't doing is catching HIV. That thing for life. Magic Johnson is the only one I know who was able to still be around. That's a death sentence. I ain't got Magic Johnson money. Nor am I trying to cheat? But to get the HIV on top of, no, I'm good. Just give me boiling hot water. I just won't shower real well. That's all. I'll just stick my arm in there.
In and out. Standing in the back of the shower.
Except for 2 minutes. I'm still. It said shower for 2 minutes. Okay, my foot is really dirty. I'm gonna stick my foot in there for 2 minutes. I already got a bad ankle. I'm used to limping.
You know it's hotter on the feet first, right?
Right.
I don't care.
The feet is the worst part to use.
Once you get that foot in, you good.
Yeah,
You
be
so
better off doing your
good.
hands.
No, I need my hands.
No,
I need my hands.
It's not that bad. This part of the hand is not that bad.
It said boiling hot water.
Yeah,
I
your
need
feet,
I need my hands more than
You
I
need
need my
your
feet.
feet, too.
No, I don't.
you gotta push the pedal.
I work from home.
You wouldn't even let nobody drive.
Drive
She
where?
don't get around.
I work from Uber. I work from home. I can do virtual service. I did it during COVID. I ain't got to leave here.
I know.
Wow.
Okay.
I don't need a foot.
We gonna all be right.
Call
here
me
having service
Toby.
with you. Hallelujah. You can't put us out because your feet gonna be jacked.
No, you ain't coming to the house.
Yes, I am.
That's
You
what
can
me.
talk all kind of crap. What you gonna do? Run, catch me?
That's what me and the NRA are gonna be great
Your
friends.
sword ain't that long.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what it is? This bullet. Me and the NRA are gonna be great friends. I promise you. I promise you. I will be a card carrying member.
So now you want to shoot me, Hoppo?
Don't want to, but I will. Oh my God. oh my God.
Right.
Okay.
I don't even think I want. I don't even think I want to play no.
I'm gonna change one word because I just don't know what Facebook gonna do. We've said it a couple of times. I just don't know what Facebook gonna do.
Okay.
Become unalive while being burned at the stake after living a full life. Salem witch trials type stuff. Or have your diet limited to various animal penises. Go ahead and burn me.
Did you just say all you can eat is penis?
Here you go. I'm not saying it again.
Is a mushroom a penis?
Animal.
A mushroom an animal?
I told you I love this game.
I might, considering the fact that, I might be cremated anyway. So
Just go ahead and do it.
go and
This
get
the
it
plan
over with.
anyway. I want to feel the fire.
That's good. Thank you for reminding me of my daddy. But I was going to go with this girl is on fire. Both of them work. I'll be one of the elements, I promise you. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow.
I'm mad both of y'all didn't catch that right away.
Wow.
All right, let's go a couple more, then we up out this piece. All righty.
I don't want it.
Would you rather? That's all right, Eric. We almost done. We here at the Real Talk Banter. I promise you, Eric, you'll love the first two topics. So if you want to go back when this is done and rewatch it, or wait till I hit them up on the YouTube channel, I segment I cut them up first and post each segment one day at a time, and then post the whole thing. But we're on the Real Talk Banter with the Pick Your Poison. We've already had some deuces, and you came in on a wonderful, horrible one. So, would you rather never masturbate again, or flatten a field of puppies with a steamroller? Flatten a field of puppies with a run them over with a steamroller.
Puppies is out of here.
They gone. Bye puppies. Eric said, "Oh, the puppies are gone. They got to go. Bye puppies. I promise you."
Puppies.
Peace.
That's why I laughed, because I had visions in my head.
All dogs go to heaven.
No, they don't. Not in my heaven. They ain't. My heaven does not consist of the pound.
How my track record is set up?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't even need to see more with your track record. For y'all who don't know who,
I'm not an animal killer.
see, she said if I could even get it out.
It is a coincidence.
It is not.
That
It is
they-
not a
that they
coincidence
didn't
that
make
every
it.
animal
Ma'am,
that
you're
has
not the
come
death
around
angel
her.
for an animal.
She do. She is the angel
I'm-
of death for 'em.
I'm
They be
not
running
good
from her
with
because they know
animals or pets or plants.
anything that's not a
It's okay.
human.
We know not to give you plants or pets.
No, she's not good with anything that's not a human. And I figured out the reason that she's good with a human, because eventually a human will fight back. You are not.
Wow.
You are not gonna take me. I'm not going down without a fight. That's right.
Yeah, because if the bleach
sometimes.
ain't took you out by now,
Cause you see, she been trying,
she been trying to get you.
and that's why I can fight back. So I be flicking the
the
vent
light
on and pop that window open. For y'all who don't know, my wonderful, beautiful wife has been trying to unalive me for a couple of years now. She
And a
will
lot
put.
recently lately.
She will be putting 30 different chemicals in at one time to clean the bathroom
Is clean enough to
and
eat
clean
out of.
and then and
just had
and
a
then
discussion
close
about
all
that.
of
No, it's
the
not.
windows and not turn a vent on. And did you just say our toilet is clean enough to eat out of? I will never.
I'm just saying.
I don't care if you just bought that thing from Lowe's. Never. I am never that hungry.
But you know, when I clean, there's no nothing.
There's no
You
air.
trying to kill
There's no oxygen.
death.
There is
Just
no
comes
living.
apart in the bathroom.
I'm thorough.
Every time she walks in there with a cleaning supply, I hear dun 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 dun.
She like, I got him tonight. I'm gonna just keep spraying. She's just gonna spray it all over the bathroom and then trying to figure out why she coughing.
So like, I have to the walls, the shower surround.
One
the
thing at a
tub.
time.
No, you gotta get it all at once.
That's why you about to die. In there.
If
trying
I
to
could,
take
if
everybody
I could
out.
rinse the ceiling, I'd have did that too. I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress. I get the corners.
So now you just want to. You already can't see.
Cause you know she about to drop something in the ass in her eye. I'm about to say, ah! We know it. What's good, Eddie? Oh man, you got to go back and listen to the first segment, Eddie. We would have loved to have heard. I wish I would have known it was gonna go the way it did. I would have loved to have had you on for, or at least commented, because dude, we wound up going back and dealing with some Black history and everything, and I know you would have had some stuff to say on it. And yes, your family uses too much bleach. No, Philander's bleach don't choke you. Philander's bleach, it stabs you from the inside. It's like that scene in the movie Alien where it's just trying to pop out. Yeah, that's what her bleach does. Cause she don't just use bleach. She uses bleach. She uses Mr. Clean. She uses Dawn dishwashing liquid. She uses Spicks and Span. She uses Fabuloso. She uses boiling hot water.
You put borax in the midst of all of that?
Yes.
With the bleach?
Yes.
Trying to kill y'all.
This is what I'm saying.
You don't mix all of
I
that
had
together.
cleaned all the walls.
She
in here
do
with it.
all
Where do you
the
see anybody
time.
tell you can use the borax in the
TikTok.
borax?
TikTok. You mean with the other side of the hand?
So
Yeah.
The other,
see where
yeah,
that
you
little
were doing
girl-
that with the other side of the
Okay.
hand. That's what the
So
problem
you
is.
see where that little girl killed herself in the tub, right?
Hey, can you stop saying that word?
Unalive.
Unalive.
We trying to make sure we don't get
Unalive herself
Uh-huh.
for following something on TikTok.
It's my cleaning recipe.
Eddie said Tina creates a concoction of chemicals that will make you pass out. The throat feels like chemical burns when they are done.
But
listen,
that-
no,
it's
I
just
got one for you,
thorough
Eddie.
Cleaning.
I got one for you, Eddie. We had to call the ambulance because she almost unalived herself. She was in the midst of cleaning.
I still
She
put it
put
clean.
30 chemicals
I
together
did not. It was 4.
to clean the bathroom. Did
it
not
was
turn a vent
4.
on. Did
I
not
closed
Let
the
it soak.
door.
Remember
did
she
not
let it
open a
soak?
window. Let the bad boy soak in the toilet. Close the door for 3 hours. Then was like, oh yeah, I got to go back in there and flush the toilet. And the only reason she did that was because my eyes were burning. She goes in the bathroom to flush the toilet and she didn't open no window. There's no window open. Not one window open. Door was closed. Door to the bathroom was closed. Door to the bedroom was closed.
Good.
I'm smelling bleach and all kinds of chemicals. Oh
I'm
yeah,
mad at
the
you. Feel like
bathroom.
you ain't do nothing
She
wrong.
gets up and goes into the bathroom, flushes the toilet before turning a vent on, just has her face looking down at the toilet while she flushes it, and takes a money shot of chemical smell down her throat, and almost for real choked and unalived. I had to call the ambulance. She's out there coughing and choking out on the balcony, spitting up green mucus and whatnot. We had to give her 3 different types of inhalers before the ambulance got there.
Well, you cleaned yourself all
I
the way
cleaned
out.
myself out too. I cleaned everything.
Yes, you tried
That
to
was
take
not.
it all
That was.
out.
Oh no, she tried to take the whole neighborhood out. I promise you, if one of us would have lit a match, this Stone Mountain would not be a thing. Chemical warfare was what she was doing. So would you rather?
They be trying to call you a terrorist.
Oh, I didn't try to call it. I said it.
I said they would.
And they would be right.
What? It's clean now. It's all clean.
It's not clean. It's
You
been
know what?
stripped.
It should still be clean. Because you almost took your life away.
If it had not been for me, was her savior. I'm not Jesus, but I'm just, but I was a savior that day. That day.
Eddie said he'll watch it later.
I promise you, you'll love it, sir. I promise you, you will. Would you rather get mauled by a pack of stray pit bulls or perform surgery on a loved one without professional assistance?
Which love one?
Right.
Eric said, what's that town with the chemical explosion in Ohio? That was about to be Georgia. You absolutely right. I promise you, all the chemicals she put, that was about to be us.
You pushed it through the system and made it way.
It made it all the way to almost to Pittsburgh.
That's what happened. That's what
That's
happened.
what
Because her
I
incident
flushed
happened
the
before.
toilet.
Her incident happened before that spill in Ohio. Yup. You did it.
You did it.
Took it a while to get there, but it got there. And y'all said which loved one? Y'all get to pick the loved one.
Oh, I would do anything for my loved ones.
Perform surgery on them without professional assistance. So what you're saying is you want to
I
unalive
ain't-
them.
I didn't say they was gonna make it, but I would do anything to help my loved ones.
It's not help.
What? They need surgery. I must need to help them.
It didn't say they needed it either. It just said you're performing it. The other one was be mauled by a pack of stray pit
I will not
bulls.
be bit by no pit bulls. I am going.
Wait a second. I'm not being bit by no pit bulls either. I'm just thinking of which one's got to go.
Somebody had to go.
Because it didn't say how much I had to love them. I just got to know which one
And
I
it
got
did
to go.
say a family member, right?
It said a loved
Loved
one.
one.
Oh,
It didn't even say a family. It said a loved one.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
I got some church folk.
I'm gonna do the surgery.
I got some church folk. Because it said loved one, and I love the church folk. So,
No, you don't.
yes, I do. I love them enough to take them to the king.
Going
Introduce
around here like
Jesus to
Dr.
them.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. What happened? They needed surgery.
They needed surgery.
I prayed for them before and after.
And lay some hands on it.
I'm
Right.
gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this
Can
top.
y'all see my
Last
knife is
one.
sterile?
Oh shoot! I picked up 3. No, well, hey, I might as well go 3. We're gonna go 3 then. So
Okay.
got me to pick up 3. I guess this can be the last one, since you're so eager to get out of here. I'm now having fun and everything. She eager to leave. We finally got some people listening now, because they're no longer upset from our hard hitting topics earlier.
Yeah, they got up out of here.
I should throw this first one out because ain't nobody picking this one. This ain't even embarrassing. I'm gonna pick that one. It's too easy. It says, "Would you have a condom fall out of your pocket immediately after everyone compliments you?" Ain't nobody scared of that. It's 2023. We grown.
You better have some condoms fall out your pocket. Ugh. What? People got critters.
People have critters.
You said critter?
She said critters. Okay, here we go. This is a little better. Would you rather play spin the bottle with everyone in your immediate family, have a sexless marriage, or only be able to eat things you can find in a public trash can?
That's an easy one. Sexless marriage.
Nah. Go to enough fine. Go by enough fine restaurants. They got some. They have some untouched good stuff that might be sitting in there.
I can't do it. I overthink it.
I ain't about to overthink it. I need to eat. Take that how you will. Play spin the bottle with every member, with everyone in your immediate family. Yeah. Spin the bottle. Mm-hmm. Spin it.
I can have a sexless marriage.
Yeah, sex is marriage.
Give me the trash.
Eating out the trash.
Give me the trash. 4
I
Seasons.
smell trash all the time.
I can go to listen. But that's not 4 Seasons trash. The trash you smell is not 4 Seasons
The
trash.
show ain't. It's for.
I'm going by the 4 Seasons. I'm going to go find Zenburger. I know they're throwing some Cobra burgers away.
None.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. See, me and Eddie on the same page. Eddie said I would eat out the garbage, but find stuff that can be cooked. Folks did that during the Depression. That's right. Thank you, sir. Somebody on my side. Because what I ain't going to do is not eat. And to take it a step further, Eddie, you said clean that meat off and boil it. I need my meat clean. Saying what's not going to happen.
For you.
And if I played spin the ball with the immediate members of my family, she would never with me again. So that's got to go. So the only logical one for me is give me that trash. Just call me Oscar the Grouch. Yum, 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 yum.
Aside from your wife, your daughter, and your granddaughter, you are
Immediate family. Yeah, that's the other problem. That's the other problem. That's the other problem. Like I said, give me that trash. Oscar the Grouch me. Yes, sir.
I know that's right, Eric. Look,
Listen,
they
let
make
me
way too many things out here nowadays.
Let me tell you something, Eric. Let me tell you something.
The job's still gonna get done.
Listen, Doc. Let me tell you something.
Right.
This is wonderful. Knows exactly what it's doing, but this cannot compete with that. Let me tell you something right here, right now.
Sir.
Give me lips over fingers all day long. That's all I'm saying. Above and below. I'm just trying to help you say. I'm trying to tell you something, sir. I promise you. And the plastic that they got for them lights and whatnot, the flashlights and everything.
They got silicone. Like, it's real good. It feels
Plastic,
like
silicone, whatever. You know what it don't feel like? Juicy flesh. That what it don't feel like. It don't feel like it don't feel like that WAP. It don't feel like that.
Right, Eric, that last commercial.
Eric, hold on.
Too.
Eric, that commercial, however, here's the thing. That commercial was all for them. I ain't see too much that was for us. And once again, those are additives. Those are not replacements. That's what's wrong with the world right now. Y'all are too busy trying to make replacements for stuff that are additives. Those are additives. I'll take the additives, absolutely. But give me the trash so I can always get the real. I don't like counterfeit stuff. I need the real deal. Manufacturer's warranty. Just so we're clear, because it's 2023. I need it the same way it was from the manufacturer. I need to see the certificate of authenticity. I don't like counterfeit nothing. I'm sorry. I don't enjoy counterfeit meals, and I don't enjoy counterfeit meals. All of those toys that was on the commercial and everything, they can't give me that the authentic can. It can't do it. It can't do it.
Does your wife?
Shut up. What the counterfeit don't do? It don't grab the sheets or the pillow.
I want to thank you for joining us in another Real Talk.
Listen, their equipment didn't expire, Eric, because you didn't pray over it right. See, I pray over mine. I speak in tongues over it. It ain't never gonna expire.
Wow.
He did. Wow. He said it expired. He said he had some relationships where their equipment expired.
Wow. And wow.
Take their equipment back to the manufacturer and get that warranty taken care of. But I promise you pray over real good. Speak in tongues over it. Yeah, I promise you, it won't expire. It won't expire. It won't expire. It won't expire. There's a wonderful old school term called the snapback. Thank you, God. That it can have if you do things right with it. This has been the Real Talk
Podcast. We want to thank you all for tuning in.
You will not close out my podcast just because I'm having a moment.
You had more than a moment.
In my podcast, I'm allowed to have moments.
You can have moments.
I'm reflecting. Song said, when I look back over my life.
You know what?
All right. So this has been a great fun edition of the Real Talk Podcast. I want to thank our hostage host, the one only, the 2'6" tall person in the person of how high did you have to jump to hit me in the knee with that bottle? Y'all can't see, she's in the booster seat right now. 2 of them.
Wow.
A wonderful guest, Miss Charise, who is getting ready to start her own podcast real soon. So be out on the lookout for Charise's podcast that she's getting ready, that she hasn't named yet, but she's getting the process of naming and getting some things together. Get ready for her podcast that's coming out real soon. Ain't that right, Charise? Ain't you got a podcast coming out real soon? Charise?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We want to thank Charise for her unnamed podcast. It's coming out. Please be on the lookout for it. And trust me, I'm going to keep pushing until she get it out because she's been procrastinating long enough. She thought I was going to let it go when you asked her about it earlier. She thought just because you asked about it off camera that I wasn't going to say something about it on camera. But yeah, she thought.
Made it out.
You thought. But just when you thought you could get away. Ow!
Glory.
So we want to thank her for coming on the podcast. We want to thank all of you for participating and joining in and listening. And please do me a favor. Like this video, comment on it, and please share it. And please subscribe to the Real Talk Podcast on Facebook, as well as the Real Talk Podcast on YouTube, where we cut up the videos and put them up. And pretty soon, I'm going to be doing some special things exclusively on the YouTube channel for the Real Talk Podcast. So you might want to subscribe out there too. It's www.youtube.com/@the Real Talk Podcast. I believe it's Real Talk HPM. I believe it is. Yeah, that one. Wow. So please make sure to subscribe to that. Be on the lookout for our next episode, which I believe will be coming in 2 weeks. We'll see, but assuming not 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after. Y'all know we do bi-weekly and everything. So yeah. It's been fun. It's been a blast. All right.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. No matter what you go through, no matter what you deal with, do yourself and everyone around you a favor. Keep God first and always keep it real. This has been the Real Talk Podcast. Thanks for listening.
This is Real Talk. Real Talk Radio. This is Real Talk. High Praise Ministries presents Real Talk. This is Real Talk. Real Talk Radio. This is Real Talk. High Praise Ministries presents Real Talk.